Our goal is very simple. Our goal is to learn JIRA. JIRA is a tool which everyone should know. If you are working in IT, you better know JIRA, because almost all IT or even non-IT projects, so it's not just IT, but non-IT project also use JIRA. So you may have a lot of questions for me. Don't worry about it. First of all, what is JIRA? We'll cover about that. Why JIRA? We'll cover about it. Who use JIRA? We'll cover about that. What JIRA can offer, right? What JIRA offers. We'll cover about that also. Why JIRA for Agile? While Agile team is using JIRA, right? So we'll talk about it. Now we will be playing a kind of project type of game. Project. So for project, I need to start with the high level project. Then I'll break it down into epics. Then I'll create a roadmap. Then I'll create a release. Then I'll create sprint stories, then tasks, and then I'll create a sprint. And then we'll assign to team members. We'll do estimation also. And we'll run out of time. So rest will cover next week. Sounds good? This is very important topic. I can give you guarantee if you are a BA student, QA students, or database students, cloud students, you will be asked, do you know JIRA? Have you worked with JIRA? Tonight, even you are going to learn 3 hours, but I give you guarantee that you will be confident. If you do a small project, your confidence will be around 3 years. The magic is the project. I gave you project last time. I know you have team. In case if you are not working with the team, we can happy to introduce you with the team. Make sure everyone knows about it. If you don't have a team, if you want to do alone, that's completely fine also. But you need to apply. You need to apply this concept. Because when you apply this concept, it will help a lot. So tonight, when we have everyone in the class, we will start about JIRA accounts. Right now, I know many of you will have question about JIRA account. We'll talk about it. Don't worry about it. It will take 5 minutes and there will be hundreds of questions about this. So I just want to hold, because I know most students come like, maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. By the time, I'll cover some of the most important aspects. And when they all are here, we'll start the accounting part. We will be doing labs. But while I'm doing labs, I need to explain about how in real life people use JIRA. What are the topics you need to know for an interview and why we are doing what we are doing. Sounds good? Extremely important is tooling aspects. So JIRA is one of the tools. It's one of the tools Agile team use. Now, long time back, most people were using Excel. So I'll start with Excel also, making sure you understand how Excel works, and it will help you to connect the dots. I'll also use draw.io, so it will help you to understand how this will work. Some of the topics I'll say don't do it, just see it. But when I start JIRA, at that time you follow the flow. Because if you try to do everything, you will focus more on doing and you will not focus on learning. Sounds good? So let me open my Excel file. You don't have to open anything. You just need to relax. Everything I'll cover step by step. Because I'll be switching Excel and draw.io. I don't want you to do anything about Excel. Because at the end of the day, you are not going to use Excel. I'm using Excel for our learning purpose only. So let me just start my Excel. It's my searching. I'll say Microsoft. So if it opens, that's going to open. So that part is good. And I'll also open draw.io. You don't have to do any of this. So relax. Don't be panicking, because I want to make sure you spend time in understanding. And stop me and ask questions, because that will give you tremendous benefit of understanding this concept for today. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start a small story, and you will understand. Let's say I want to create my own website. That's my goal, website. E-commerce website, because it's very easy for almost anyone to think about websites. So I'm going to create a web store. Okay, relax. I'm going to create a web store in a draw.io, and I'm going to create a web store in Excel also. So, all right, it's asking password, and I do not know password. So, any without password? Yes, perfect. So now, story starts like this. I'm a businessman, and I want to create an e-commerce web store. E-commerce web store. Now, when you have e-commerce, it's all about online. We're selling. Makes sense or not? Just like Amazon. I'm not going to say Amazon, but I'm going to say e-commerce. When I say e-commerce, means you buy online, you use credit card, you buy it. E means internet-based, and commerce means buying and selling. So for service. Now the question is why? Anytime you start any project, the first question should be why we do e-commerce. Do you agree on it? So the first question will be like normally, BA student will start with WW question. Why e-commerce? Why you are not doing store, retail store, right? Then what are you going to do in that, right? Normal questions will come, right? What are you going to sell there, right? What are you going to sell there, right? What are the items you're going to sell, right? You're going to ask, who's going to buy? How are you going to do shipping, right? How are you going to do marketing? There are lots of questions will be there. Do you agree or not? So when you start a project, the first question will be, why should I do the project? And what's the benefit of the project? We are right now talking about e-commerce, web store. So any project requires investment, yes or no? And when you ask why, it helps you to think about, is this investment is worth or not? Do you guys agree or not? So first thing is, think about investment. How much investment we are talking about? When you talk about web store, anyone? If I want to create like an Amazon type of website or web store, what do you think? How much I need to invest? 10,000? 100,000? How much? What do you guys think? Yes, I want to create my online store. How much investment?
What are you going to sell?
I'm asking just a simple question. How much? You just pick a number. Depends. Remove the depends because you don't know anything, right? But approximately how much it will be?
$100 just to set it up. Depends. Plus the inventory.
If you do 100, then it might be just a website. Am I doing website or business? Now you're talking 500,000. How much?
I said over 100,000.
100,000, right? So now it's a pragmatic. So let's start about understanding that. So if I start a web store, high level thinking, I need a website. Do you guys agree or not? Let's do high level website. So the question is, do I have? Answer is no. Then maybe I need some kind of warehouse. Do I have? Answer is no. If I do warehouse, then I need a warehouse management where I can add a product, view product, search product, retrieve product. I have people who can organize, shuffle, division, shipping, all kind of things I need. So they're called WMS, warehouse management system. Okay. Then I need a people. Yes or no? Staff. I need to hire staff. Do I have staff member? No. Then I need to have some kind of payroll because I need to pay them. If I'm going to have warehouse and all, then I need to have renting and locations and all kind of things I need to go through. If I'm going to start, I need to do marketing, right? All those things I do. Will I be successful? Ramesh? Will I be successful? Yes or no? You only have two choices. No. Why not? You should not take more than 10 seconds.
Because it's depend on our product.
Because you say that I will not be successful. Why? You're right. But why I will not be successful? You're taking more than 10 seconds. So let me repeat. Anytime you're taking more than 10 seconds in interview, you will not go through because they will think you are taking too long. You're slow. You will have a label. Whatever, right or wrong, before 10 seconds, you need to speak up.
It's going to cost a lot.
Because of cost, I will be failing.
Because you didn't do market research.
Maybe market research. Why I will be failing? Because I can start business now. I have full control. I can start business. I can invest. I can do all those things. But will I be successful? Yes, Mahasweta, go ahead. Mahasweta, you are mute. No, she raised the hand, right? So when you start the business, there is no guarantee that you will be making money. What do you think? Why would I fail? Just remember, don't take it lighter. This will help you to prepare for the interview also. Yes, sir.
The mindset.
Mindset. Yes. Very good. Mindset. But let's say my mindset is, I want to be successful. I want to be successful. Mindset is good. Will I be successful?
If it is positive, you will have to make.
Yes. But when you start a business, you start with a competition. Yes, sir. And when you start with a competition, it's not how good you are. It's all about how bad others are. Yes or no? But right now, Amazon and others are there. Alibaba, Amazon, and others, they already proven themselves. Yes or no? So if you are going to start a business where there are more players out there, player in the sense of competitors, will it be easy for you? Will be hard. So when you start a business, the first couple of analysis you need to do, the first analysis you will do is called high-level analysis called 5-force analysis. 5-force. I'll talk about 5-force. Again, these kind of things they will ask in an interview. It's not written, but you should know about it. So 5-force. The first force is how many players are in the market? Players in the sense of competitors. How many competitors are in the market? Are they really doing the similar job? If they are doing similar job, more competitors means difficult for you to win. You guys agree? The second, how many buyers are in the market? If you have less buyers, will you be able to sell more? Because most of buyers are buying from Amazon or Walmart. They will not come and buy from you, right? So buyers are there, but they are kind of stuck with Target, maybe Sears, maybe Walmart, maybe Best Buy, maybe Amazon, maybe eBay, maybe Alibaba. Why would they come to you, right? You need to think about it. The second thing, vendor. If you have less vendors, right, then you will not have products. And if you don't have products, you cannot sell more. Because the vendor you're buying, like example, if I want to buy TV, I might be buying 10 quantity. So I will not be able to negotiate the price. Yes or no? But if Walmart goes, they will have a better negotiation. Amazon goes, they can do better negotiation. So their price will be always lower than mine. Do you agree or not? So vendor perspective, I will have trouble. Very good. Then other thing is, think about the entrance, new entrance. New entrance. New entrance means the people who are thinking about my idea and they steal my idea. They steal my idea. So like example, whatever I'm going to do, Ramesh is going to do the same. Maybe Mike is going to do the same. Maybe Rachel is going to do the same. So suddenly what happened? They take my lunch. Initially, maybe I have 10 customers, but suddenly they copy me. Now they will take few customers from me. Make sense? So buyer, entrance, vendors, players. Also think about the economy aspects, right? Economy aspect, right? Is it something you favor? Because structure, basically structure. If economy is helping such kind of, if it is helping, online is booming, then you might have a little opportunity. You need to do a little research on that. Let's say this research come positive, that hey, there is less player, it means there is an opportunity. There is a more buyers, then there is an opportunity. There is a more vendors or suppliers, there is an opportunity. But less new entrants. An economy structure means substitute. Substitute means like example, if I cannot get my product, then I can buy another product and I can survive. So example, I go to certain place in restaurant and I say, I need a Coke. If they don't have Coke, the guy say, Pepsi will work. Okay, so Pepsi is a substitute. Make sense or not? So whatever I'm selling, if someone is selling similar or alternative product, more of them, people will not buy from me. Make sense? Do you think I need to do such kind of research before I start business? Yes or no? It's a good thing. Again, it doesn't need to be like hundreds of days, maybe a few days, brainstorming, 5 force. So if buyers are more, good opportunity or bad opportunity? Good. If less competition, good or bad? Good. If suppliers are more, is good or bad? If new entrants are more, good or bad? Bad. So example, if I start something, like example, driving Uber, most people do that, right? Initially, you might make maybe $500. Next month, you will make $400. Next month, you will make $300. Next month, you will make $200. And you say, why, what happening? Because if you can do it, others can do it. Do you guys agree or not? Suddenly, more people are in Uber. Now, Uber cannot make money. I have seen people literally stop all in driving Uber because they were making $1,000 a day. Right now, these people are coming back and saying, man, it's not working well. Maybe Uber is not giving more customers because customers are divided among drivers. So this is important. So let's say I did this research and everything give me thumbs up. Buyers are more, vendors are more, new entrants are not there, competitions are less, economy structure where substitute product is not available. So I got all thumbs up, means I'm going for business. Should I start a business now? Or should you do another analysis? I need to do another analysis. After 5 force analysis, I need to say why people should buy my product. Why would they buy my product? I need to do that analysis. Why people buy my product? Why they should buy my product? What am I offering? What am I offering which is valuable to them? People only buy if they find it's valuable. You need water or coffee? Yeah, because remember, you're on first floor. We just started. Remember, this is, you need to be full battery, right? So when you start any business, the first thing you need to ask, why would somebody buy it? Or why would somebody come to you? If the why is not very clear, then no one will come to you. So if you are going to be online, then you need to think about why the people will come to you versus Amazon. Can anybody help me? Why would people come to mom and pop store than going to Amazon? Why? What's the reason?
We sell something that Amazon doesn't sell.
Very good. Something unique. Speak with me. Unique. Unique has to be there. There got to be uniqueness. What are the reasons?
Prices are competitive.
Some beneficial. So unique and value. Maybe price is better. Maybe service is better. Maybe the transaction is better. Maybe some experience is better. Do you guys agree on that? So when you start, you have to think about customer. What customer gets from me, they cannot get from anywhere else. Make sense of it? And second thing, they should get much more than anyone else can offer. So there are 2 words. You got to be differentiator. Differentiator, speak with me. Differentiator. And you have to deliver value. When I say value, means benefit. Differentiation, you cannot copy Amazon. If you copy, you will lose. But if you create a differentiator, then you're going to win. And that concept is called value proposition. Speak with me. So value proposition analysis you need to do. When I start my store, I'm not going to sell something which is available in Walmart, Amazon, Target. I'm going to sell something which is not available anywhere. Make sense? That's called uniqueness. So people will come to you. And when they come to you, you're not going to rob them. You're not going to charge huge money. You're going to provide them a very good service at a competitive price. I'm not saying cheaper, competitive price. Means customers should feel that, man, I'm getting better value here. And customer willing to pay money. Make sense? Willing to pay money. Don't demand money, willing to pay money. So that's called value proposition. Value proposition means customer will select you more and provide you more money also because they feel you're delivering value. So far, so good. Now let's say I have some idea. I'm going to sell antique furniture or I'm going to sell antique items, which is not available anywhere. Do I have differentiation? Yes. Do I have opportunity? Yes. So that I completed. Now I'm going forward. Now I need to do one more analysis. And this analysis is called, I'm going to open, this is called, let me start here, design thinking. Speak with me. Design thinking. Design thinking means you have to think about from customer point of view. Customer point of view, what customer feel about certain antique piece. All those things which I'm teaching right now, I have a videos here, which I added all videos in your project. So first is the value proposition, we just talk about it. This video is in our Google class. The second thing is we talk about is called product innovation. What kind of research we need to do, it's there. And the third we are talking about design thinking. So I'm going to go quickly here, and this is what you need to understand. When you start anything, any store, any business, you have to think about design. First is the empathy. Empathy means who is the customer, what they like, why they buy, when they buy, where they buy. Think about customer. Then move for what problem customer has. So example, if I'm an antique collector, then normally I used to be in Michigan. So the way it works, you have to drive to certain places very far. The best place is Traverse City. You have to drive there to get antique piece because it's not available everywhere. Now, I have seen people fly from Florida to Traverse City. Is it convenient to fly from Florida to go to Traverse City, tiny city in the Michigan? Maybe not. But if I have a website, sitting in your sofa, you can search it, whatever you want. And when you get it, I can provide some video conference. I can provide some advice, and I can deliver the fastest way, maybe FedEx, and I give you insurance and packaging and everything I give you. And I give you opportunity to also, if you don't like it, we'll take it back, no question asked. Customer will be happy. Do you guys agree or not? So that's called problem you're solving with very unique way, which is the idea. Now, your idea is you're coming with a website. Just like Amazon, Jeff Bezos, do you guys know Jeff Bezos' story? So long time back, I think it's a, if I'm not making mistake, it's 1991, if I'm not making mistake. So 1991, Jeff Bezos, he was working for New York Stock Exchange. In case if you have not seen the New York, you should watch, go and there, see there. It's a nice building. And now during lunchtime, he is coming out with his boss. And they're walking. Lunchtime, of course. They were taking lunch and his boss said, I am looking for a book. Let's go to that store next to that. And then we'll go to the office. Jeff Bezos say, okay. So now they're walking to the store and then they enter to the store. Jeff Bezos see there are maybe 5,000, 10,000 books were there. Boss is looking, Jeff Bezos' boss is looking, and he couldn't find the book. So he asked that bookstopper when the book will come. The guy say, I don't know. And then they were coming out. So now Jeff Bezos asked his boss, why you need that book? The guy said, I need this book. So what if you don't get that book? I really need that book. So why don't you drive to different city, state, different country, get that book? So the guy said, no, I don't have time. That time Jeff Bezos got a click. What if I create a bookstore? This is the problem statement, right? He wanted to make a whole world book available in your fingertip. And that's the Amazon was created. Same thing Uber, in case if you do not know. Uber guys were traveled to Italy and they came out from airport and they called their friends and family members. No one came in to pick them up. And they waited. And then they realized, man, we need to have some service. We call and right away driver comes. Uber started. How many of you know Airbnb? Right? Almost everyone. They wanted to go to Seattle. Now they wanted to go to Seattle and they had like some, what do you call, basketball or volleyball, some game was there. And that similar day, political campaign was going on. So all hotels were booked. And this father and the friends, they wanted to go, they couldn't find. So they end up staying with some relative's house. That day, our friend came up idea, what about I can come up with Airbnb? People don't want to stay in a hotel, they want to stay with the neighbor house and there are like traditional experience. What I'm trying to say, there was a problem, we came up with the product. You have to come up with a story. Every business has a story. If you have a good story, people will come to you. Sounds good? So far, so good. My IT expert story I want to tell you, so at least complete circle. I had two stories. Story number one, I used to teach. A lot of colleges I taught. Almost 16, 17 years I taught. And every time I taught, I had a one panic that I'm following old content, very old content. Whatever I'm teaching is only MBA students learn. What you're learning right now is only MBA students learn. But college doesn't allow me to customize anything. I have to follow 15 years old content, same old. And I was thinking I'm not making a difference. That was one story. The second one, I was studying master from Northwestern. I realized that, man, education is so expensive. How this normal individual can afford it? So I wanted to come up with the concept, what I can customize it, make education affordable and rewardable. And that's what ITEXPS started. Education is affordable and rewardable. You see the problem statement? The colleges which I used to teach, they are all closed. ITT Tech, gone. Westwood College, gone. Why? Because colleges are so expensive, does not deliver value. Value is the important part. We talk about it. And the problem statement was not, they were money-making business. We are having value relation business. So every business is successful in today's market is a value relationship. Make sense or not? Amazon doesn't make money from you. Amazon build relationship with you. Make sense? So your product, your business has to have that relationship. Are we clear? If you do not have that type of passion, do not do product, neither do business. Just do job. In a job, you do transaction, Monday to Friday, 8 to 5. But we are starting here a business, not a job. Do you guys agree or not? So now I need to think about different idea and then prototype. Prototype, Amazon started with a prototype called bookstore. Bookstore. Uber started as a concept in San Francisco as a Uber city number 1, San Francisco. And then they slowly expanded. Amazon also started the same way. They started in a Seattle and then they expanded to all over the world. So start prototype, start small and build a success and then go to the next level. Make sense? You have to have this game plan before you start any web store. Any questions so far? We talk about 3 things. First we talk about is 5 force analysis. 5 force analysis every business has to do. Every product has to do. Second, we talk about value proposition. Why would somebody buy from you? 2 words we use, differentiation and value. And the third thing we talk about design thinking. Design thinking means before you start, everything you have to think about from customer point of view. See, I go to certain restaurant, but trust me, don't take me wrong. I will be very honest with you. In USA, I didn't find any restaurant when you go and you feel wow. You don't feel wow because here just like a simple. But I go to different country and I enter, I feel wow. I feel like I'm kind of in a palace. Here I don't think I give $100 or $200. It's just like simple table. The guy come like there's no wow experience. So when I go to the other side, certain places where I go and I say wow, that's called design thinking. They think from customer point of view. Make sense? Food is food, but experience matters. Do you guys agree or not? In case if you go to Universal Studio, you know what I'm talking about. Universal Studio, you go and you go to any ride place. Go to Six Flags versus Universal Studio. You know, Universal Studio is design thinking. Everything is thoughtful. So you have fun. Yes or no? That's the reason business survive. That's the reason business grow. Make sense? Design thinking is not there. Nothing will work. How many of you drive Tesla? How many of you seen Tesla or going to buy design thinking? Majority people buy or old design is old car. But Tesla came up with a new concept car, which is design thinking. Yes, sir.
Just wanted you to throw more light on product innovation.
Yes.
Because as you explained.
Yeah. Product innovations start with the research. So I'll go here. Anytime you do product innovation, it's all about 2 things. You have to find, first of all, customer. First, customer and what problem they have. And the second thing, you need to find out market. If there is a demand, market has to have a demand, because if there is no demand, you cannot sell it. And there got to be customer who has a problem. So product innovation starts from the 5 force analysis. That's the reason I started 5 force, because it gives you complete view. Is there a customer? See, I can be a good instructor, but with 0 student, will I be able to start business? No. I did research, and I will be very honest with you. When I was in Michigan, I used to teach. But Michigan, the layout is very different. Everything you have to drive 15, 20 miles in order to reach to the place. Everything is very far. Chicago is the only place in the United States. When you draw like 5-mile radius, 50 colleges you will find. Education hub. So demand is high because there are a lot more colleges in Chicago than any state in the United States. So demand is high. Do you agree or not? Because there are more colleges means more students. So demand has to be there. If market is there, opportunity is there. And if market is there and customer is there, there is more opportunity. And then you find out what they are offering, which is not available. So like example, if they are offering traditional school, you need to come up with a different type of content. Yes, sir.
You ever been to Boston?
Yeah.
There's more schools in South.
Very expensive. Very expensive. Average, remember our motto is education should be affordable and rewardable. So this is the state where weather is different type of weather. People can, because of 4 months of winter, more people study. More people study because you are kind of captured. You are not traveling. If weather is helping you, people will not stay. People will not study. More, again, there are so many benefits are there. So Chicago has a much more benefit. Again, Boston might be there, but you are talking about the branded college. If you go to Harvard or MIT, you lose your arms and legs because it's so much expense, very expensive.
There's a different school.
No, but if you compare the list wise, I can happy to show you the list. Chicago right now have 265 community colleges in Illinois, 265 community colleges. I'm not talking about state colleges. Community college means you draw around Harvard, draw Roosevelt. You just draw, keep doing. Within 2 to 3 miles, you will find 5 to 10 colleges. If you just go to Woodfield Mall, 4 colleges you will see in front of you. That type of demand, which is not available. Trust me, I have done research. Because the reason I have done research, because it is an education field. Education is very affordable here in Chicago compared to others. Again, geography matters, location matters. Makes sense? Any other questions? People on phone, any questions from you guys? So are we good with the business? So now, yes.
So I've got the concept of product innovation. Now value proposition. You compare what's on the market.
No. The value propositions is customer will compare, not you. Customer will select. Value means benefit. Proposition means selection. Customer will compare you versus others. Customer will do. If you are offering better service, better product than others, then they will select. So value proposition start with the customer in mind, right? Customer in mind, right? Yeah. Now, we agreed that we want to start the business. Now, when you start the business, I'm going to use Excel. And first thing I need to define my vision. Again, you don't have to do anything, relax and enjoy. You are going to do project. I'm going to give you this activity. I want you to feel about it, how this starts. So now the big guys in the company, because senior management, they will start, hey, we want to have a vision. So vision is we want to be definitely vision will number 1, right? Antique store in the world, right? Something like that, or in the Chicago, something like that. So you start the vision. Make sense? Now, in order for us to do vision, remember last week we talked about vision means long-term journey, right? Long-term journey here. In order to go there, we need to have some kind of roadmap. Yes or no? So now you're defining a roadmap. So let's say roadmap, I define roadmap, let's say roadmap also consider as a release. So I'll say release means I will easy language, I'll say release 1. So let's say release 1. let's say I say 6 months, I'm going to do something. 6 months. What am I going to do in 6 months? So first I'll do, let's say, website development. So first 6 months, I will have website development. And then as I do, I will have release 2, maybe in 1 year, which is 6 months after, right? I'll do warehouse. So I'll have warehouse. So we can say WMS, warehouse management system, means I'll have my own warehouse, right? Now, release 3, then I'll have a marketplace. Marketplace means other vendors and other suppliers can sell their products, just like Amazon. Other vendors and suppliers, maybe in 2 years, I should be able to do that. So we call marketplace. Marketplace means not only I sell, but my vendors, my suppliers can also sell. So I define like kind of roadmap. So first of all, now because our class is more about JIRA, I'm going to focus on this aspect. Okay, I'm not going to focus on all because time will be limited. So here I'm going to start here. You start mindset as a release, and then I'm going to start here. So check it out. So now I'm in a detailed planning. So we call epic plan. Relax. So first I'll say release 1. Release 1, I'm going to do website development. I'm going to make it bigger font so you can see better. So release that. Release website development. Now the question is, what are the big ticket item I'm going to do, which is called epic. Big ticket item is epic. Epic means big. And it has a capability. Capability means functionality. So you're going to say epic. And in epic, you're going to create, in this release, you're going to say, hey, I'm going to create epic 1, where I'll do product search kind of thing. So customer can do product search. Why? Because if I have products, they should be able to do product search. You guys agree? In the product search, they can do product search by name, by title, by price, by brand, by year, like that. Makes sense on that. Then epic 2, I'll do product management. Makes sense on that. So product management, I can add product, I can view product, I can delete product, I can export product. So I can do administration of that. Then epic 3, I'm going to do shopping cart. Shopping cart means, you know, right? If you have gone through Amazon, right? When you buy the item, you add an item in a shopping cart, you view item in a shopping cart, you update item in a shopping cart, you delete item in a shopping cart. Now, epic 4, you do payment processing, which you know, credit card, by debit card, by PayPal. Epic 5, which is you're going to do shipping management. Epic 6 will do order management. So you can order, you can view order, you can do that. So I kind of create all those things, then I will have my release is ready. So this is my first priority. If I do that, then my website is good, and I have to have another epic, user management, because user can create account and all, right? So I have this management. So what I'm trying to say here, in order for me to do website development, I need to do this much activity. This many activity I need to do so I can complete my website development. Questions? People on phone, any questions? Now this is kind of called to-do list, but it is a big list to do. In order to complete this thing, there might be more item I can add, yes or no. But time being, I'm just going to make sure it's kind of big ticket item. So example, when you are in a when you are planning for vacation, let's say you are in Christmas time and you are going for 5 days vacation. Let's say just for time being, we assume we are going for Cancun. Yes or no? So what is your release? Cancun travel. Make sense or not? Now what would be the big ticket item?
Buying a ticket.
You need to buy air ticket. That's ticket. So air ticket. What's the second? Hotel. Over there, mostly people stay in a resort. So resort. Then rental car. Then what are you gonna do over there? Attraction, right? You're gonna visit some attraction, right? What attraction to cover? Yes or no? Right? Maybe other item, shopping, right? So you see what I'm saying? Now, you don't need to say, I will be going to this store, I'm going to buy these, and that's called minute detail. Say yes or no. It's okay to say yes or no, right? If I say, I want to buy air ticket, you're not going to say, I'm going to buy Monday, 6 o'clock, these are, no, that's a minute detail. That will be part of these epic. You're going to break it down, 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 and you're going to add that more detail. Make sense? So when you do epic, there is one thing called estimation. Speak with me. Estimation. Now, estimation, the way you do is called estimation. This all epic estimations is normally happen in t-shirt size. What kind of size? T-shirt. So t-shirt means like you're going to say product search, how big it is.
Triple XL.
T-shirt is like small, medium, large, XL, like that, right? So I will give you a hint here. Small, listen carefully. We already discussed last week, so I'm not gonna repeat certain things. We have a team, agile team, 3 to 9 members. Yes or no? So far so good. So let's assume for time being our team is 3-member team, and they are going to do product search. So they all gonna work together. Epic means they're gonna work together. So if they can complete, listen carefully, if they can complete in 15 days, all 3 members work for 15 days and complete, then we call small. Speak with me. If it take 1 month, we call medium. If it take 3 months, then we call large. And if it's going to take 6 months, extra large. So 15 days means small, 1 month means, and 3 months mean, 3 months means large, and 6 months mean extra large.
Extra large.
This is called common language. What do we call? Common language. Now, company to company, it will vary. Company to company, it will vary, but we need to come up with a common language. Now, if I ask product search to my team, and I say, hey, guys, what do you think? One say, I don't know product search. I never done it. One guy will say. Other guy say, hey, I have done it. Remember last week we talked about OPM, optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely. And then we say, guys, reasonably is a small, medium, large, or extra large. So what do you guys think? What do you guys think? Hello, guys. Please mute yourself. We are recording, okay? Whole world. We don't want to listen to all your private details because this will go all the world, okay? This will go to YouTube also. So we want to make sure we don't talk personal things. Okay. So what do you think? Product search. It's a small, medium, large, or extra large?
Extra large.
Let's assume for what do you guys think?
Small.
Small, medium, extra large. So I have a simple advice. If you're doubt, go in the higher side. If you're confident, go in the lower side. So definitely you will not go very high, but you need to be somewhere in the middle type of thing. So product search is the first time you're doing, second time you're doing, then it may be a small, medium you can do. But if you're doing, this is the first time, so maybe do large. So we can say estimate large. L means large. Now product management, add product, view product, delete product, you need to database and all. So what you, medium. Then what you guys think? Shopping cart?
Small.
So also medium, right? Payment processing, because you need to document testing, everything you need to do, right? Payment processing, medium. Shipping management, because now your experience build up, right? Because you are doing this for a while, team is experienced. So now what do you think? Shipping management, medium. Order management, and the user management, medium. Let's assume for medium. Now, big boss will ask how long and how much. Big boss will ask how long and how much. We already know, right? So large means we talk about 3 months, yes or no? So I'll say 3 months. Medium means we talk about 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. So if I do total, it's going to take around 9 months. So total, how long will it take? 9. So this product has this many epic. In order for me to release this epic, listen carefully, I need a 9 months. How many months? Now there won't be like disagreement. You know why? Because you define common language. Now, if it takes 8 months or 10 months, we don't have to fight. 9 months is just a ballpark. Do you guys agree? So if I have 9 months, listen carefully. Then if I create a slab, see here, I'm going to create a slab here, 3-month slab. I'm going to give a little space and create a slab so you can see what I'm trying to do. Another slab. This is second slab. Minimal. Relax, okay? Most big companies start this way only, okay? So it's not like you're learning something different. So there are 3 months there. So if let me merge this guy, so it will be better. Sorry, I'm teaching you guys Excel, but I'm very good in Excel too. So I'll say release 1 here, and let me put it in the center. So here merge, and I'll put it in the center, and now I'll do merge here, and this is release 2, and this is release 3. So I'm doing 3 releases to complete the product. So I have released 1. So now I have to decide out of these epic, which epic should be done first? Tell me, which epic has to be done first? Product search. Why? Because if I do user management, there is no benefit. I am selling business. So my key part is product search. So that will go to release 1. So this is the product search. So this is the line. So I'll say this one, E1 will go to release 1. But it is 3 months. It means all 3 months is gone. Do you agree or not? So I can't do anything now. It's gone. Now we are in release 2. So in release 2, what we're going to do? After product search, what are you going to do?
User.
But then
Product management.
Then there is a question. There is a question here. If I don't add product, you can't do product search. Do you guys agree or not?
Yeah.
So I cannot do product search first. I need to do product management first. But that's only 1 month. So I have opportunity. So what else I can do? So if I do product management, means add, view, delete, right? Then I can also, I have an extra month here. I can also do shopping cart also, right? Right? Sorry, my mistake here, E3. And then I have payment processing I can complete because I have time, right? Because that complete the pipeline. So person can search it, they can buy it all the way, right? Now, if I go here, now you can say here in this way, you have to do product search. Make sense?
Got it.
Now, product search complete. Then if you are coming here, because this is going to take 3 months, so you're done. Now, rest of the thing here, you can do shipping, which is E5 here, right? Order management, right? We can say order management here, E6, and we can do E7. So you can see how I have planned it. So if I do this plan, and if my marketing people come to me, can I say this is the roadmap? That what is coming, when it is coming, can I say that? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Nicely I can say that. Now if I draw this a little bit, make it bigger, like color-wise, let me do like this, so you can see that nicely. So this is a roadmap. And this is roadmap. Normally company keep it in their what do you call, in their conference room, this kind of thing. So everyone knows what's coming. So you can see here, this is coming. So if marketing people say in release 1, what is coming? So you can say these are the things coming. In release 2, what is coming? So you can say E1 is coming. And release 3, what is coming? Like that. Now you can say, but how do you know that it is coming in 9 months? We already planned that. Makes sense or not? So I have planned release and I have planned epic. I also estimated epic. Epic is estimated in t-shirt size. Are we clear? Any questions so far?
Hey, Tushar, can we, like, in a real world scenario, is it possible to do shopping cart and all this before product search? Don't we have to go?
Yeah. Sorry, what is the question?
Like, can we do shopping cart before product search?
Yeah, why not? Shopping cart is like, you add dummy data, you do order, view, and all. It's a separate component, right? Product search will depend on the product management because you're doing product management already. So product management you are already doing, add product, view product, right? So product shopping cart is an independent component. So you will do dummy data, you hard code the data, and you try to do that add, view, delete, because it's doable in 1 month. But this is 3 months, so you cannot do that because you don't have capacity to do so. Right? Ideally,
Right.
I want to do that, but release is fixed. So if I put it here, it would push me to the 2 releases. Means half cooked food, Agile doesn't welcome. So you need to come up with such a way that whatever you deliver, it's a working software, right? So you need to be creative. So like example, think about that. If you are, just an example, you are building a house, right? And you know that in a house, like certain thing is going to take 6 months, you're waiting for approval. So the question is, what are you going to do during that approval? Should we sit tight or should we do parallel activity? So you can find, hey, I can do this thing. And that is where we are doing product search. Here shopping cart. But when you do product search, entire end-to-end testing you will do. Search, product search, add item, view item, delete item. So that's called regression, which is complete end-to-end. But yes, you can do that part when you have time limitation. You need to be creative. In that case, certain functionality you can delay, but certain functionality you can do it. Any other questions?
So this format planning is what we call pipeline.
No, this format planning is called release planning. This what we have done is called release planning. Release planning, product owner is involved. Product owner is involved and senior management is involved. Development team may not be involved. Why? Because you are not coming to the how part. You're talking about what part. It's all business. You're talking about business part. You're not talking about how part yet. You guys agree or not? We don't know how shopping cart will work. We don't know how product. We just think what business want, and it's doable with this three members team. And we are using a common language that if 3 members work collectively, then small means half 15 days, medium means 1 month, and that's common language we use. So here, most important is called ballpark. In America we call ballpark, but in the industry there is a concept called ROM. What do you call ROM? ROM stands for rough order of magnitude. Rough order of magnitude. Rough order of magnitude means high level. How long will it take and how are we going to do? So how long? In 9 months. And how much will it cost? We already calculated, because 9 months we calculated, multiply by 3 people's salary, that is your cost. Do you guys agree or not? 9 months multiply by 3 people's salary, that will be your cost. And you also provided roadmap. Roadmap means release 1, which will be this, release 2 will be this, and release 3 will be this. So you kind of provided roadmap.
So it's the benefit of this.
It's
the benefit of the Scrum team to organize all this. All this is
mostly
before.
this is organized before Scrum team comes, because the business members, product owner will be there. It is possible Scrum team might be there also, but the most responsibility is product owner and business team, because it's all business. We are not technical.
Still cannot understand how all of these things without the product search.
We did, right? We did product search, right?
You don't have.
Are you talking about this one?
You don't have a product.
No. Product management is there. What is product management means? You are adding product, you are viewing product. So you did a product management. That's why we changed it. Remember? Product management means without add you can't do search, right? So initially we wanted to do search, but we can't do search without adding, right? So we did product management. So add, view, update, and delete. You are doing that first, and then you are doing this part.
So this kind of estimation that we did right now,
Mhm.
t-shirt, is this
Loud,
was
because people didn't want not here.
this kind of estimation that we did right now, t-shirt sizes, was this ROM?
ROM. This is called ROM in industry, rough order of magnitude. This is the practice. We call t-shirt size. Sometimes we say t-shirt size means like a big brush estimate. Big brush estimate means you don't spend like days to do estimate. You spend weeks or minutes or hours to get the estimate. We did still logical, right? We didn't just like randomly pick. We used epic. We selected t-shirt size. We did that, and we came up with that, right? And wherever you were saying small, we did medium. So you can do approximation. Nobody will ask you why you are wrong. This gives me ballpark. We are not detailed estimate.
But at a later time when we have more details or more exact.
That will go to later estimate. So it's a refine. Remember last week we talked about cone of uncertainty. How many of you remember? Did anyone remember?
Yeah.
Did anyone watch the recording? Cone of uncertainty. When you start, you will be wrong. Do you agree or not? But you still do estimate. And then as you go further, your estimate will be refined. But you are not here. I need to know how long will it take approximation. If you are going to take 9 years, would I go for project? Maybe not. But 9 months, I know it's plus or minus 2-3 months, no problem. Makes sense or not? In Agile, listen carefully. In Agile, we don't focus on time. We don't focus on time and scope and all. We focus on value. It means if you deliver this thing, it has to be usable product. Everything is usable product. Customer might say stop here. At any time, customer can stop here, and it should be usable product. We may not be doing all. Maybe I come here and I realize I don't need this. I don't need this. It's okay. Customer can make that decision. So in Agile, scope is not fixed. Scope can change. Remember, we welcome change at any time. So things will change. But before I start, I need to have some kind of comfort feeling. It will take 9 months with 3 people. Make sense? Any questions?
Only product owner and business are involved.
Business people are involved because funding will be depend on. They might ask question here. So they will say how much money needed, right? So you can see here I can calculate the cost for Epic. So three members. So let's assume 3-member cost is $100. Then this Epic is going to cost 300,000. Make sense? If 1 month means 3 people, so this cost. So each Epic has a cost. Why need the cost? ROI. Because if I don't know the cost, I don't know the ROI, right? So you can easily estimate. It's very important that you need to estimate. Remember, when you are going for Cancun, you will have ballpark estimate how much will it cost for air ticket. Do you guys agree or not? How much will it cost for resort? How much for attraction? How much for shopping? How much for this? You will have some ballpark. Do you guys agree or not? But when you go to Cancun, it is possible you may do a little bit adjustment, but your high level ballpark will be known to you before you start the Cancun trip. You guys agree? People on phone, any question?
Yeah, Tushar. So, for the product backlog, do we see epics in the product backlog, or would we see stories?
Very good question. Let me explain. Last week we talked about product backlog, right? Let me go to picture so people will see, because some people might have not even seen that, right? So let me show you this picture. Let me show you this thing. So last week we discussed about this item, if you remember. We spent a lot of time explaining this. So the question Nima is asking, product backlog. In this product backlog, you normally see Epic here at the bottom. And as you go further, you will see story. So what is the difference between Epic and story? So Epic is a big ticket item. Story is a small, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. So Epic means big ticket item. And story means Epic you divide into small chunk, then it becomes story. So in product backlog, everything is a story. Listen carefully. In product backlog, everything is a story. One is a big story, which we call Epic. And one is a small story, which we call story. But in product backlog, everything is a story. One is a big and one is small. And this
I have a question.
Big is the bottom side and small at the higher side. Yes, go ahead.
Question is, what makes it big and what makes it small? Is it in value or in risk or cost?
Effort. So example, if you're doing color or painting on one wall versus you're doing painting an entire house, which one is big? Entire house or one wall?
The entire house.
So entire house is Epic, and each wall you can create a story.
So it's safe to say that stories are subsets of epics.
Yes. Epics are divided into small chunks. Those are stories, and the stories are divided into small chunk, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. It's called task. The stories are divided into tasks. So the relationship is like that. Epic has stories. These are stories, and stories are divided into tasks. I'm going to show you this complete step by step, and we'll do this thing with JIRA also. Yes.
So at this stage where we are our estimation, and this is basically where the product owner is all of that. This is where he will get from this. This is where he will get the product backlog.
This is a pre-planning. You are building a product backlog. Basically, you are building a product backlog. You are here. This is somewhere here, right?
Okay.
So you are here. You didn't even start here, right? Now we'll go to the next level. So now let's assume everyone agree with the epic. Go ahead.
So at this time, I am not yet involved of the Agile Scrum.
Who you are?
Assuming I'm
You are a developer, right?
I'm either a Scrum Master or a business.
Yeah, now you will come. Now you will come. So that's the second stage. So let me do click here. Now I'm going to say stories. So I'm going to do story. You will understand as you go further. Remember, pay attention because life is very simple if you enjoy it, right? You understand, right? So I'm going to take product management. So I'm taking this epic. Listen carefully. I'm going to take up epic here, and I'm pasting here. So this is epic. Now people ask question, what is this product management includes? So product, now development team started. Development team came and say, hey, we are in a clarity mode. We call PBR. PBR means product backlog refinement. Because if you put everything here, everything epic, it's all here, which is kind of here. Everything is big, big, big. So people say, wait a minute, I don't understand what is this big guys. Can you break it down? So now we want product owner to help us to break it down into smaller units so we can start having a clear details here. So that is where we are here. So development teams now came, Scrum Master came, and product owner came, and they are going to do PBR. What is PBR stands for? Product backlog refinement. So they're going to do refinement. So now we are doing refinement. Please pay attention. So now I'm here. So I say product owner. This is the product owner. So okay, product owner, tell me what is included in a product. Product owner, what is included in the product management. So now product owner will break it down. So it will say story one. I'll use story one. Story one, add product. Story two, view product. Story three, update product. Story four, delete product. Story five, find product. Story six, export product. Right? Product list, I'll say product. So this is included. Make sense? So now the epic you had, you kind of break it down into smaller parts. So first of all, like example, you are going for Cancun, yes or no? So if you are going for Cancun, then you will say, are we going to take a single flight or multiple flight? So from here, let's say you are doing multiple flights. So hey, we got to go to here to New York. Their friends and family member will join, and from New York we'll go to Mexico. So you're kind of step by step. So you are now having a break it down. Maybe then you will ask, but how are you going to go to airport? So we'll take a cab. Or how are you going to go to resort? We'll take a cab. So you're now step by step associating how the airfare will work, right? Very important. Here, product management. Whenever we say management, all those things will come. Add, view, update, delete, find, yes or no. This is all are included in a product management. Because when you say management, add, view, update, and delete always come. In industry, this is called CROD. What we call? CROD. Now, CROD means create. C means create. Create means add. Create. R means remove. R means remove. U means update. And D means display. So industry, sometimes people use CROD. CROD in the sense of create, update, remove, and display. Make sense or no? So far, so good. Any question? Everything makes sense or no? Product management has add, view, update, delete, find, export. Make sense? Now, Epic was in T-shirt, and stories are in points. Stories are in points. Now you say, what is this point? So last week we talked about points, and many of you did homework, right? Remember, I asked you watch recording. I asked you to watch this thing, but if you don't do it, I still want to repeat. So point means relative complexity. Relative complexity. So now we're going to estimate this point. So here we will do estimate. So I'll give you common language so we all can estimate correctly. Listen carefully. If you, one person in your team, or 2%, 1 or 2%, work for 1 or 2 days and they can complete, then that point is around 1 point. This is like there is no direct connection point and days. Listen carefully. In exam, they will ask you question. Is there a connection between point and days or hours? No, no. This is just a common understanding. If I can do 1 person or 2 person can complete in 1 or 2 days, then it's 1 point. It means simple. Complexity wise is 1 point. What is 1? Complexity. If 1 or 2 people, they take 3 days or 3 to 5 days, then it is 2 points. You can see here 2 and 3 to 5 has no meaning, but it's a common language among us. So 1 or 2 people, 1 to 2 days, 1 point, 3 to 5 days, 2 points. If they take 2 weeks, which is whole sprint, then 5 points. Make sense? So 1, 2, and 5 approximately. Common language. Now you say, but what about 3 points? So in between 5 to, let's say 6 or 8, something like that, 3. So 1 means simplest and 5 means complex. You don't go more than 5. Why? Because everything what you start, story must be completed. Story must be completed in a sprint. Sprint means 2 weeks. Story must be completed in sprint. That's why you don't take big story. You break it down. Epic normally goes across the sprint. Epic goes across the sprint, but story must be completed. Story must be completed in sprint. So you cannot take more than 5 because then it will not be completed. Okay, so that part is clear. So now in this situation, add product. Add product, how complex it is. Add product. So now you cannot just think about that, but you have to think about what is included in add product. So I will give you some idea so you will understand. Customer will or admin will use some kind of web page. Some kind of web page. They will enter product details. Now there will be a program. Those QA students recently studied application server. Sounds familiar? Say yes. Application server, web server, and then database server, right? 3-tier architecture. So this database server where you store product, you will have a small table where you store product data. Application server will check that is already product exists, then don't add the same product. Make sure some validation, some business logic, some programming like Java, Python, C# logic will happen. Here some web designing will happen. So everything you do, that's called add product one time. When you make a change, that's called update product. When you remove it, delete product. When you find it, it's called display product, right? So first time when you do, it may take a little while. Once you complete it, like once you create a table, next time it will be easier because you already have something. Yes or no? You guys understand or not? Because first time when you do something, you are creating everything, Lego block. Next time, you are reusing certain things. Make sense? Clear? Add product means your screen where you enter product name, product price, product description, product type, product category. Then there will be logic, and there will be a database where you store them. Make sense? This is what add product means. Now, tell me, is it 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, or 5 point? 3 point.
5 points.
Now, 3 point or 5 point. We will have disagreement, right? Someone will say 3, someone will say 5. Now, you, my friend, say 3 point. So I'll give you opportunity to speak up. And I have one friend who say 5. I'll say, you speak up. First 3 point person will speak up. He will explain his point of view. She will explain her point of view. And then we all will listen. And say, guys, what do you guys think? Let's do again estimate. And then people say it makes 5 point. And you might be okay with 5 point. Then we'll go for 5. So this is called estimation, where everyone voice count. The lowest estimate and the highest estimate, these people will speak, they will educate the group, and then they will do re-estimate till agreement happens. Make sense? So now between 3 and 5, I will go safely 5 because it's always good to have a little bit higher point early stage because you're building a ecosystem. Once you are done add product, now if I go to view product, what do you think? 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, or 5 point? 3 point. Then update product. 3. Next. 3. Next. You cannot just do 3. Thinking slowly because you are learning here, right? Yes or no? You are learning, so slowly it will become easier. Yeah. So you can say 1 or 2. Things will, because you have to estimate. You need to get better, right? Because if you just do everything, every day should not be the same, right? So the first time it will take time, but then slowly you get. So you are now doing, let's say here, just an example, 2 points. So you estimate it. So if you do this estimation, so total point right now is 17. So here total is 17. Again, this is the point. This is not a days. This is the complexity. So we are talking 17 points. Now you have team. How many people you have? Team. So your team 1. So let's say team member 1, team member 2, and team member 3. Makes sense or not? And you are having a, how many days? You have 1, 2, 3, 5. So you have 2 weeks sprint. So I will do this way. So you have 2 weeks sprint like this. Let me do that so you can understand. So you have 2 weeks sprint. Now these are the players. They can start taking the work here. So if you want to assign that, you want to assign who's going to work, when they're going to work in sprint. So this is your, every epic has to be groomed. Every epic will have a story, yes or no. So if every epic has a story, then you are still here. Every epic has a story, and then you're still here. Makes sense or not? And when you come to sprint planning, product owner has to pick some of the story. Yes or no? Now, you can see here, this is a lot more point. And how many people you have? 3. So now there is a 2 things comes. Capacity, and velocity. Make sure you understand, learning will happen easier or learning will become fun when you understand. So capacity means how many hours they have to work. Capacity means how many hours they have to work. So if you have 8, see total how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many days? 5. And 5 plus 5 means 10. So what do you do? Because you are attending meetings, you are doing all those demo, planning and all, you kind of remove 2 days from that. So how many productive days you have? 8. How many productive days you have? 8. And how many people you have? 3. So total capacity will be 8 days times 3 people times 8 hours. Makes sense or not? Are we understanding? Am I trying to make it so complex that person cannot understand? If you are 10 days, 2 days you are removing from meeting. So from 2 days, if you remove from 10 minus 2, how much? 8. And how many members you have? 3. So 8 times 3. And each day, how many hours you have? 8. Don't make it hard. 8 days, 3 members, 8 hours. So capacity is now 192 hours. Now, if you do not know this type of math, then you have a problem. Then you have to go to basic math. Yes, sir.
I got lost somewhere.
No, it's straight question.
I got lost somewhere where we're estimating.
What's the question?
The question is, how do we begin with the estimation?
That's what we have not estimated yet. We are not estimated yet. We are just talking about out of 10 days, 2 days goes in meeting. Out of 10 days, 2 days go in a meeting. How many days left?
8.
How many members you have?
8.
Each day, how many hours you have?
8.
You are not lost. You are with me right now. Okay? Don't try to lost, right? We are still going together, right? If you want to be lost, it's completely fine. But still, whole Carva I'm taking with me. Okay? So we are going together. We are in caravan. I'm driving bus. As long as you follow, right? So far, you should not question me. How did you get 192 hours? Because we did a math here. 8 days, 3 members, 8 hours. Do you guys agree that the maximum work you can do is 192 hours? Say yes or no. Again, this is not the energy I want. I need full energy.
Yes.
Thank you. If you don't have energy, then I will lose energy. 192 hours you have maximum. 192 hours you have maximum. You cannot do more than that. So that's capacity finite. But other side, we don't have hours, we have points. Hours and points have no connection. So we need to do breakdown. Stories need to be broken into tasks.
Task.
Until I go to task level, I will not know hours. But I know my team capacity, yes or no. But I don't know what work I can take. So I'm in a sprint planning meeting. 3 people are there, product owner is there. I don't know how much work I can take, yes or no. So Scrum Master say, wait a minute, we have 192 hours. Whatever you want, we can do in that hours. But don't expect more than that. So now product owner say, wait a minute. I don't know. I have a stories, you have hours, let's do together and break it down story to task. Make sense or no? Yeah. And that is the next step we do. We are in the sprint planning now. So we are here. We have not yet estimated. So please don't confuse yourself. We are here. Now, in this case, product owner will take one story, add product, and he will explain what he means add product means. The development team will create a task for that story. Then product owner will say update story. He will explain. Development team will do task for that story. Then product owner will say delete product. Development team will do task. So this will happen during sprint planning. That time I will know task, and if I know task, I can have hours for the task. Make sense? And that is what we're gonna do now. Make sense or no? So let me create that thing here. So now I'm gonna click on a plus sign, and I'm gonna do task. So first I'll select one story, add product. Relax and see here. I'm taking add product. I'm going to do add product. Now, when you do add product, first of all, someone has to draw the diagram. So I draw the diagram. Diagram wise, I say customer is coming here. Customer is going to use the screen. So we need a screen here. And then there will be a program required, which is called program, which we call service. In easy language, we call service. Here we call web page. And then we need a database. So we need 3 things minimum. The person said, but I need to do documentation. So yeah, I need a document, use case diagram or use case document. QA said, but I need a test cases. Oh yeah, I need a test cases. Somebody said, I need to educate, so training guide. Yeah. So I need to come up with all possible tasks to complete this story. Now, it is possible you may not know anything. In that case, you bring expert in the meeting. You bring invite expert. Or you can do spike. Speak with me.
Spike.
Again.
Spike.
Again.
Spike.
Interview question. Mark my word. When you do not know anything, not you, entire team do not know anything, then we use word spike. Spike means I cannot estimate. I need to do research. So now they will do Googling, they will meet people, they call friends and family members, and they do that. Normally spikes are 1 day or 2 days. And that spike has to happen because team is completely new. So they have to do some kind of research, which is normal. And then they do estimate. But let's say we know a little bit here and there. Because we have cross-functional team, right? Someone knows HTML, someone knows database, someone knows BA, someone knows QA. So we have cross-functional teams, so everyone knows a little bit here and there. If they know here and there, they will do at least some estimate. We are not looking for accuracy, but close to accurate. Make sense? So people say, what is this web page mean? Can you explain? So I can say, you need HTML, you need a CS, you need some design. The person says, but we need a graphics artist. Yeah, then we need a graphics designer. We need this page. But how the logic will work? Oh, we need Java. I know Java, but we don't have software. So we need to install software. That's a task. So more tasks you do is better for you to do estimates. Make sense? So if you have more tasks, it will take more hours. Yes or no? Listen carefully. If you have more tasks, then it will take more hours. So if your hours are 200 hours, just an example, then that story point is not right. The story point, our common language was 1 point means 1 or 2 days, 1 or 2 people. If that's the situation, right? So 2 people means how many hours I get in 2 days? One day I have 8 hours. 2 days means how many hours I have?
32.
16, and I have two people, so 32 hours. It means this story task should be 32. But what if it is 40? Then it's not a 1 point, it is a 2 point story. That's called negotiation. Make sense? This has to happen because when you estimated 1, you did not know the task. You did not know how complex it is. When you really do it, you know how much complex it is. At that time, you would say, oh, task is 40. But our common language says that 1 or 2 days, 2 people is 1 point. So it doesn't look like 1 point. It's more than 32. So I would say 2 point. This is the way estimations start happening. You need to talk, you need to communicate, but you need to be actively participate. You cannot do cell phone. Neither you can come 30 minutes late. People will fire you. Trust me. This is the agile. They call treadmill. You got to be fully active, fully engaged, fully energized. Because if you are not, in retrospective, you will come in a subject. When you didn't do part well, everyone has to involve fully. Make sense or no? If you do not know anything, just say, hey, I don't know anything. I want to learn. I can do spike. Be volunteer. Show that I want to learn. But every time rookie team means people do not know anything. They will start with a spike. So they say, let's not start with the sprint first. Let's call spike, which is called 1 week spike. Everyone does research and then come back and then they do sprint planning. This called zero sprint. Speak with me. Again, in exam, zero sprint is not possible. In exam, there is no zero sprint. But in real life, there is a zero sprint. Because in real life, you are human. You don't have a machine, you don't have software, you don't have knowledge. It is possible. So in a real life, we do zero sprint, which is called startup exercise. Make sense or not? You are joining as a BA, you are joining as a QA, you are joining as a database guy. You are the team. And zero sprint is for team, not for Scrum Master or product owner. It is for team to know about it, install software, install machine, configure and all. Okay? So zero sprint is for development team. They don't talk to development, they are the development team. They talk to the friends and family members, they do research, they go for training, they go through webinar, they go to YouTube video, they do all the research, the trial and error. Those are the zero sprint to prepare for the real sprint. Questions? Make sense? Okay. So now I have a story here, add product. Now I'm going to do task. So task 1, create a web page. Create a web page. Why? Because add product is a web page. Task 2, create a service. Service means nothing but a program for validation. Task 3, create product table, database table. Task 4, create wireframe. Task 5, create test cases. Task 6, create user guide. Task 7, provide demo to product owner. So you can see here, I have kind of these stories I have broken down into multiple tasks. The stories are now broken down into multiple tasks. And all those things I complete. If I complete all those things, then story completes. But story has how many points we have? The story has 5 points, right? So story has a 5 point, means our definition of 5 point means what? What is our definition of 5 point? No. Entire sprint. Remember, 5 point means entire sprint.
7 days.
Entire sprint means how many days?
7 days.
8 days.
Entire 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Please do math correctly. 8 days.
8
days means how many hours in each day? 64. So if 1 or 2 people, so 64 is the minimum, listen carefully, hours, 64 is the minimum and maximum is double. So 2 people work, so 128. So if I am in this range, then my point is good. If I am less than 64, then it might be a 3-point story. If I am more than 128, then I need to break it down this story because I cannot complete this story in one sprint. That type of negotiation happens. That's why remember sprint planning is a long meeting, 8 hours meeting for 1 month. Yes or no? And 4 hours meeting for 2 weeks. That meeting is pretty aggressive, means you have to continually work. When I see you are active, that is you see me active because if you are not active, it's not going to be helpful. You continually, it's not going to work well. You need to be active and you need to be genuinely putting effort because this is a fast speed train. Everyone is going to do high performing. Everyone wants to do more. So it's very important you have rules clear. So right now we have parameter clear. 5 point means 64 minimum hours and 128 is the maximum hours. Now you ask your team, creating web page, how long will it take? If you want to create a web page, how many hours it will take? Approximately. Let's say 10 hours. Service, writing a program to validate the product price and everything you enter correctly. How long will it take? If you do not know, you do ballpark approximately. The person who knows in your team will guide you, given he will support you. But people who are in this team will have at least basic knowledge. So example, QA know how to write test cases. Developer will be there who know how to write Java program. The BA will know how to create wireframe. Everyone knows something. So it will not be completely naive team. So let's say just for example, services will take, let's say 16 hours, just an example. Database table will take, let's say 8 hours. Wireframe will take, let's say 4 hours. Test case will take, let's say, because we are writing multiple test case, add product with varieties of test case, let's say 12 hours, just an example. User guide, because you have to create step by step how it works, maybe let's say 16 hours. And demo maybe 4 hours or 3 hours. Make sense? There is no like wrong or right answer here. You are putting genuine effort. If you're wrong, next time you're going to get better because you know that, hey, database table take a long time. Creating web page takes less time. You will know next time you will be better. First 4 to 6 speed, you will have a little bit bumpy ride because you're learning, which is okay. So now if I do total of this total allows me how many hours I will be working. So it's a 69. So 69 fit in this range, yes or no? If that's the case, then this point is correct. But how many members are busy now? Approximately 64. So it's approximately more than one person is busy. So we are going to say now out of 3, hello, how many members we had? 3. Out of 3, almost one person and little bit other person is gone. So how many people left? 2. So I can definitely take this story in my sprint. Now you ask product owner, definitely we can do that. Now tell me which one we need to work on. So product owner say, let's work on this one. So 3 point. So 3 point means how many days? Approximately 3 points, approximately 5 days, right? Approximately 5 days. So 5 times 8, which is 5 days, and 8 means hours, so 40 hours, and around 1 or 2 people. So 40 is minimum and maximum 80. So you are now picking this story. So you are now going to copy. This is happening in sprint planning. So you are not lost. You are going through this and you are now going to break it down. Good news, you have done most of the work here. So you are now going to get a little speed. Make sense or no? So for view product also, you need to create a page, same concept. You need to create a service, same concept most of the time. So if you ask me, majority task will remain same. So I'm going to copy this thing like that, just for making simplicity. Why? Because you are in a product management, it will be same thing. So create a web page, create service table, but database table you don't need because you created already. Do you agree or not? Create wireframe, yes, for unit, test case, yes, user guide, yes, and demo. So I do not need database table. Why I don't need database table? Because you already created it. So then I don't need, so one task is gone. Now First time it takes a little longer. Now, if you do this, do you think it will take 69 hours or less, right? Yes or no? So you can say create a web page because I have experience from here. You might be able to reduce it. So now I'm going to say, you know what? This is 3-point story, but creating web page, maybe now it will take maybe 5 hours. Creating service, maybe let's say 8 hours. Wireframe, maybe 4 hours. Test cases may take 10 hours. User guide, maybe 10 hours. Demo to product, or maybe 2 hours. Now, you have to do some, right? This is like going to get faster as you go further. Why? Because your team will have much more knowledge. So now it's 39, which is fair in our game. So now you can say 69 and 39. So almost 1.5, means 2 people are gone. You can take another story. You do that. So knowing that our team capacity perspective, these many story, we can definitely work on in our sprint. Do you guys agree or not? And that is your commitment. Speak with me.
Commitment.
Now you know how I committed. I committed based on point and capacity. So now my velocity will be, my target velocity will be 3 plus 3, 6, and 5, 11. This is my 11 point I'm targeting for this sprint. Makes sense or not? If I complete, listen carefully, if I complete 11 point, then my velocity is 11 point. But let's say I complete only these 2 stories. Then what is my velocity?
8.
So next time I'm going to only commit for 8. Make sense or not? If I can finish it, I can pull more, but I'm not going to commit more. Make sense or not? So you start with a systematical approach. So you see, first we started Epic, which is the t-shirt. Then we started stories, and then story through task. And based on my team total hours, I'm seeing 192. So if I do here, I have 69, I have 39. So if I do addition of that, I still have time to take story 3, which I'm taking that. So approximately I can do 3 story based on my capacity. I'm not overcommitting in one sprint. Make sense or not? Any questions now? Do you think this is hard? If you ask me, if you just listen to me, if you have participated there, see, I will be humbly requesting, don't waste your time. Don't waste your time. Many of you still don't understand. You're not doing homework. You're not watching. These can give you $100,000 job. Many people say, I have a job, $20, $30. This is the job you should do. This is a very simple thing. If you can learn in 2 hours, which people don't learn in lifetime, you are not understanding the power of education. So make sure you practice this when you do the project with your team, but you have to participate. I was asking question during the discussion, but when you do that, when you are doing product, you need to have a story, you need to have a task, everyone should participate, then you learn. If you don't participate, you will not learn, you will know bookish. Make sense or no? If you participate in a project with your team, with Zoom meeting or in-person meeting, where everyone understand, everyone asks question, if there is a disagreement, you discuss about it and re-estimate, you go through the journey, you become an experienced person. This experience, if you do 1 or 2 times, lifetime, you will be remembering that. So at this moment, we are now coming out from this sprint planning. So I have a sprint backlog. So in sprint backlog, I have 3 stories, yes or no? And I have respective tasks. Each story has a task. And that is what we're going to do in JIRA after break. Make sense? So in JIRA, I'll repeat everything what I cover, a little bit smaller scale because I cannot spend too much time. So we'll do the similar thing in JIRA. Our project is not due next week. Our project is due week after. But whatever I'm covering, you should start working because you don't have time now. Because if you don't use this week and next, you're done, right? If I were given this opportunity 17, 18 years back, when I was working on a GM, if I have given this opportunity that I would have done amazing job that time. Because I was nervous because no one has educated. None of word was clear to me. Epic, story, task. It took us 4 or 5 months learning, trial and error, listening. There was no book, there was no Google, there is nothing. So it was hard, but not hard for you. You're making hard, not practicing. Make sense or not? There are some videos out there. I'm going to prepare the video. What 4 or 5 times any interview will be passing. There is no problem at all. People just ask this thing, how did you do that? Walk through that same exercise and your project experience. When you have a project, if your team is not 3, let's say you have 4, then your capacity increase, yes or no? If your team is 7 members, your capacity increase. If your capacity increase, then your commitment increase, yes or no? Make sense or no? You cannot increase days because your sprint is still 2 weeks, but your hours still increase because you're multiplying by people. Make sense or no? So that is the reason team to team capacity varies. One team may have 4 people, one team may have 6 people. Capacity will vary. Sprint is still fixed, 2 weeks. But if team members are more, the capacity varies. It means the commitment will vary. Meaning their velocity will vary. Can you compare velocity among team? Can you compare velocity among team? No, because velocity depends on capacity. If team members are 5 in one team and 3 in another team, you cannot compare capacity and velocity. Make sense? So you cannot compare team capacity and velocity among team. The only thing you can compare is the quality. How they are doing quality work. Make sense or not? So let's say the first thing we need to do is create an account. So we want to make sure we create an account, and people on phone, in case if you access the Google class, I did mention about you have to create a what do you call account. So if you see here, create an account, which is this detail I have provided, right? In order for us to create an account, I'm going to show you a link and all, so you can easily do so. Again, don't be scared, it will work smoothly, but in case if it doesn't work, don't panic. You can always watch the recording. So first of all, you can go to search like this, JIRA, Atlassian, right? Atlassian like that, login. JIRA, Atlassian login. If you have not created an account, you can create even in less than 2 minutes. JIRA, Atlassian login. So if you press enter, you will get this link. So JIRA, Atlassian login. You can search it. JIRA, Atlassian login. JIRA, Atlassian login. Now we are going to click on JIRA because this is where you will create a free account. We're going to create a free account. Make sense? JIRA, Atlassian login, and then we're going to create a free JIRA account. Now, if I click on JIRA, because I already have account, so I'm in, but I will come out. So I will go to different thing. So it will come somewhere. You will get it will ask you email address, right? And you follow the steps, and you will get a link. And once you click on the link, you will come here, where it will ask you site. If you are getting site, you are really following me, right? Eventually, you will come to site. So let me repeat again. Trust me, creating an account is quite easy. But if you still need help, you may want to sit down and I'll help you later. But whenever you are, let me log out here just for a second so you can see here. Anytime you are coming here, like a login with another account, so you come here, you will get the information, right? So I'd say add another account, and like this way. First, it will ask you email address. You give your email address, and you say continue. It will send you a link. You create a password, and then it will ask you site. So once you create an email, you will get an email address. Sometimes email goes to the junk email. So make sure you check that and click on the link. Once you complete that, you will come here. Now the site has to be unique. Site has to be unique. So the way I normally do is I use my name, and I can just Tom, and then I use A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, till it becomes a green check. So it's important that you create a site unique. So make sure you create site unique. Make sense? Site has to be unique. If you are at this moment, you're really following very well. Now, these email, you can have JIRA account for 2 weeks. So if you feel like that you need to create more than, maybe create another account, and then you can do that for another 2 weeks and connect another account. I found very simple loopholes in this system. Loophole is my account expires after 2 weeks, but they have one simple weakness. I don't know. They can listen. Maybe I'm recording. If you do reset password, let me show you. So I normally do reset password. So you can see here, if I do reset password, they will ask me to click here. And when I do that, it will take me to the site link, which is here. So I can use the same email account and everything will be working fine. I found this loophole and it's been working for last 2-3 years. So just in case if you want to do that, you don't have to cry, just say reset password and then you're back to business. So now I'm entering site. Remember, site has to be unique. When you go in a real life, you don't have to do any of this because your admin or Scrum Master will do this part. Your admin or Scrum Master will do this part. So you don't have to do, but because we are in training, we need to do that. So if I click on agree, it will take me here. Don't go too fast because your screen and my screen will be quite different later on. So it's very important that we work together. Now it is creating an account. So this is also cloud software. So sometimes people say, do you know cloud? You can say yes. And do you have any knowledge about Scrum? JIRA is one of the most popular software in the industry. And it is one of the software which is very popular and almost every job will require JIRA. Okay. So JIRA is the software we are using. Now, please understand, those who need help, you can watch recording because recording I'll give you most likely tomorrow. So you will have access to recording, but make sure you pay attention, understand the concept because we are going to do clicking here and there. We are not going to do too much thing because I explained already in Excel. Whatever I did in Excel, I'm going to do that with the tools. So you can really appreciate that. So it will be a lot easier when you use the tool. Which takes little time. When I'm in a certain time, my eye works better than my Google Chrome. So that's why I use eye. Whenever it asks question, just do skip. You don't have to answer any question. Just do skip. Okay. So skip. Now it is asking project. Now please understand this is the team which you are working. Our project is we are clear. We are creating a web store. Yes or no? So you can write now name here, whatever project you want. So I'm going to write now my web store. That's your project. Now don't go too fast. Remember, mistake people make is to going too fast without understanding. You will have accident. So when you do my web store, you should not use Kanban. You should not use Kanban. You should change the template. So you're going to say more template. You can click on more templates. And when you click on more templates, you're going to click on Scrum. You only use Scrum. We'll talk about next week what is Kanban and all. So don't cry. We'll talk about it. But right now, the Scrum. So click on Scrum and there is a tiny arrow here. Tiny arrow. So you can click on the tiny arrow and relax and enjoy the ride. So now we are Scrum. Any questions so far? So far, so good. Right? Now I'm going to click on it. Let me see here more options. So there is a key here. It doesn't matter. But you can see a project type. This project type should not be team managed. It should be company managed. Because if it is team managed, it's a different structure. But if you click on company managed, it is different structure. So you click on company managed. Remember that it's a company managed, not a team managed. Majority people do team managed, and then the view will be quite different. As I said before, don't go too fast. If you made a mistake, you have to create again. I'll show you that, but you have to create again. Good news, you can create a new project. You cannot change the template once you create the project. So I'll show you quickly to people, but I will not be able to go backward because also it is a free version, so it creates a challenge. two things I want you to understand. One is the template, which is the Scrum template. I came here and I click on the more templates, and using more template, I click on that. And then in the more options, I click here and change the company menus. Make sense? Now click on create. It takes a couple of minutes and it will show you like this type of dialog box, which are the companies are using. Almost any popular company you can think about using JIRA. I can give you guarantee you will be using JIRA most likely next 10 years because it's such a beautiful software. If they ask question, just skip it. If they ask question, just skip it. Now when you come here, what happened in a real life, before you join to the team, Scrum Master will add your email address. So that way you are getting invitations about project. Listen carefully. When you work on a project, one of the team members will become admin. So that person will invite real team members' email. So example, I'm working with Kevin real email, Mike and Mary real email, I'll invite. So they will get an email. Once they click on that, they will come and work in the project. Make sense or no? So when you work on a project, one of your person will become admin and rest of the people, they will invite with a real email. Make sense or no? Are you understanding? But because we are doing a project, which is artificial project, we don't have a team, so we're going to create a team. So let's do here. Let's do Kevin at abc.com. Write down Mary at abc.com. And let's say Amy at abc.com. You can invite more people if you want to, but right now 3 people is good. Remember, we started with 3. I'll also show you how to add more people, right? You can have one person working for multiple projects and you can invite more people. I'll show you. Let anyone with a verified IT expert email address know I don't need them, so I remove that. And let team members invite other people too. That's fine. So this is fine. Means they can also invite other people, which is good too, right? So right now these are my 3 members. I'm adding the team members. This is normally done before you join with the team, but because we are creating first time, we are doing it. Now it's ready to done. And if you are doing this, I would say congratulations for creating your first JIRA project. Was it hard? Now what is JIRA? JIRA is a issue management software. Speak with me. Issue management software. In interview, there are questions are asked. What is JIRA? Issue management software. Now, JIRA gives you a lot of things here, but this is the most important thing on your left navigations, right? On a right navigation, unnecessary help, they keep giving you a lot of help they will give you, which I don't like it. I'm going to minimize it. I normally don't use it. I only use this thing. And this is what you have. So your project and you have everything. Now this is your backup, which is your product backup. So this is your product backup. And we will be starting from here. So far, so good. Now, please understand, don't be mistaken here. In case if you made a mistake and your view is not matching with my view, it is possible you have managed team manage. If you have selected team manage, you will not see this many options. Company manage, you will see this option. In that case, you made a mistake, don't cry. You just go to project and you create a new project. At that time, don't make a mistake, select template called Scrum and select the company manage. Make sense or not? The template will be Scrum and company manage. And once you come to new project, then you will be able to see the way I'm showing you. You are allowed to create multiple projects. So it's not like one project you can create. It's okay to make mistake, but then you can create a new project, use a Scrum template and company manage template. At this moment, if you are here, click on the backlog and you are with me. So far, so good. Give me thumbs up on phone if you are here. If you are here, you can do almost all things. So people on phone, give me thumbs up if you are able to come to this level. JIRA is one of the desired skill. Unfortunately, people charge a lot of money to teach JIRA. We used to charge $1,000 just for teaching JIRA for 2 days. We are teaching you free because we believe education is affordable. I personally go to company and I teach 10 or 15 people, this is like $30,000-$40,000 education training or just for one day. It is that popular. If you don't know JIRA, people won't even check your resume. Without JIRA, they will not even talk to you. Trust me. You can be expert, but if you don't know JIRA, they think you are not going to be team player because this tool you use almost every minute. So you need to know about it, right? So now let's click on backlog. So when you click on backlog, there are two things you will see here. One is the version, which is nothing but release. And one is the epic, which you already know, big ticket item. So now from version, first we'll start with the version, listen carefully, and then we'll go to epic. So let's click on version. Relax and follow me. Click on version. So when you click on a version, you will see this link. Make sense? Now it clearly say create version. So let's click on the link. When you click on the link, you get a dialog box. Here you're giving name. So we're going to say R1. R1 means release. Now descriptions, you give a name. So we'll say release 1, type release 1. Start date, because it is starting from January, we'll select the January. Let me click here. So I'm starting from January 1st. Oh, that's the day off, right? Right. January 2 is fine. January 1st is day off, right? So, and then we will be ending in 3 months. So we're going to say January, February, and March. And this is the month. Do you agree? Do you think it's hard creating a release? One, release is nothing but time block. Starting and ending. And just say create. And congratulations for your creating a first release. Was it hard at all? Easy. Release is just like this. If you remember this time block which I was showing you, epic, this release. Remember this is what I just did. I just did release. I created time block. Right? I created a time block here. So this is what release I did. So that's the time block I created. So you can see here, we just did this release. Now inside the release, I'm going to do epic. Make sense? And this epic, each epic has a name, it has detail, estimation, and all. And that is what we're going to do. So let's go back to our thing. Now, please understand, we are here in a release. If you scroll down, it says issue without version. Issue without version means there is no issue. JIRA is an issue management software. Everything is issue. They ask one question in interview. What are the issues JIRA provides you? Issue. There are different type of issues you can work with in JIRA. Type of issue. The first issue is epic. The second issue is story. The third issue is task. And fourth issue is a bug. Speak with me. Epic, story, task, and a bug. How can it be hard? Issue types, there are only 4. Epic, stories, tasks, and a bug. Now, if you want to create a spike, that's another kind of story, which I will cover next. Spike is also considered as a story, but has a 0 point. Speak with me.
0.
Again,
0 point.
because there is no commitment, because it's just a research. So the output is not helping customer. You are not really delivering it. Ideally, you should do store demo and all, but you're not giving to customers. So spike is considered as a 0 point story. Make sense, somebody? We are done with the release. Now you have epic. Click on epic. Click on epic. Click on epic. So when you click on epic, you get this option. Sometimes JIRA opens so many small windows, so your window might be different than mine window. That happens a lot. So don't cry. It's okay. So version we are done. Now we're going to click on create epic. So let's click on create epic. So we're going to click on create epic. Now you can see here issue type. I just explained to you. How many issue types you have? 4. You cannot say I don't know. Right? You cannot say I don't know. Because if you have ever worked in JIRA, you cannot work without issue type. always start with Epic. So now Epic is selected and give Epic name. Good news, we have done some work here. So we're going to do product management. Makes sense or not? That's the reason I kind of spend enough time and educate all of you how it will work. So here I'm going to say product management. You should not ask me now what is product management is, because you lost your all opportunity of asking questions. Make sense or not? We already discussed about all what is Epic and all. In case if you have questions, I would strongly suggest watch record. I'm going to follow just we did in Excel. Whenever and wherever it is new thing, I will definitely say any question. But don't say, can you repeat again what is Epic, what is story? Don't, I'm saying you don't have a maybe focus. Maybe you can watch recording, because we cannot go backward. We have to go forward. Now summary. You can write here product management means like for my web store. I mean product management to add, update, delete, and delete product. So if somebody see that, they should not cry. What is product management means? You kind of give little English. Make sense? Little English. So product management means this thing, right? Tonight I'm going to give you one example, because I want to make sure I give enough time so you can follow the flow. Next week we're going to do again, but next week we're going to do a little different also. Now, don't just click on create and all. Don't go too fast. Now, when you do that, there is a limited options you have. Do you see that? They're limited. Now, what you need to do, if you scroll bar, if you take scroll bar up, there is a dotted dot under. So if you click on it, it gives you some other field, so fields. So you can customize it. So you can click on so fields, you can customize it. And when you click on customize, you get a dialog box where I can say, I want to have what do you call fixed version. I want to have priority. I can have other items also. Now, some of the things I'll cover next week. So please do remind me what is component, what is label. I'll cover other things also. Let's click on the link issue also. So these are the things I'm checking. These are my custom column. JIRA also allows you to add more custom columns, but those are advanced people. For normal, like people like us, this is good enough. But people like very advanced, they kind of create their own custom column. Right now, we have link issue with check, and we added fixed version and priority. So far so good. Now we're going to do apply. So when you do apply, you will see now your scroll bar and you have options available. You can see here, you can do priority, you can have fixed version, you can have select issues and all kind of things. For first thing first, fixed version, if you click on that, it will show you R1. So now you are saying these Epic, I'm going to work on this release. What does that mean? So if you remember in Excel, we have selected this is the release and this is the Epic. So we just link that. Makes sense or not? So you select that as a version. Over there it is called version. So we did that. Now priority. Priority means if you have 3 epics to do, which epic you want to do first, which epic you want to do second, and which epic you want to do third. That's called priority. So right now, if I want to do first, it's a high priority. So I'm going to click here and I'm going to say high priority. Pretty easy. Now, any question, concerns here in this clip? Make sense? Now, if I click on this check mark, it will allow me to keep this dialog box as is and allow me to create a new epic. So we'll do a couple of epics. So let's check mark. So what will happen? It will not close this dialog box. And now we're going to click on create. So because I say click here and I'm clicking, it allows me to create multiple epics in this window. So now I'm going to click on create. So when I click on create, issue is created. It gives me some notifications. And if I scroll up, right? If I go to up, now epic is here and there is a next one epic. So next epic based on our Excel, we are going to work on which epic we're going to work shopping cart, right? So I'm going to write here shopping cart. And I can say for my web store, I mean shopping cart to add item, view item, update item, and delete item from shopping. Same concept. If you scroll down, you can select release, right? So you can select release. By default, release is selected because we have done last time. And the priority, because you cannot have high priority because high priority was gone. So now you can say medium priority. Makes sense or not? Again, nicely done. Your epic. This time we are not estimating because we are just kind of creating logical blocks. Okay.
What is linked issues?
Link issue once we connect the story, because we're going to connect the story with that, right? So far, so good. Now, sometimes what happens, Epic will have dependency. Epic 1 has dependency with Epic 2 or other way around, right? That's called link issue. So you can link them. So like example, here, let's say I want to link. If somebody wants to do this one first, shopping cart first, then without product, they cannot add item, yes or no? So we can add a dependency. So in linked, you can say, you click here and you will have options to associate that. So now you can say link issues. So here, many options are available. So you can see link issues blocks, right? But here, you can see here relates to. So if I select here, you can say relates to, also relates to, and then I'll select the other epic. What is the epic was there? Product management, right? What was that? What was the, when I write there was a number, right? We'll do later. I'll show you. It should give me a number. Let me do it. It normally search and show exactly. No. It should link. Anyway, I'll show you. You can link that, but I'll show you later. Don't worry, I'll show you. If I scroll down, so I have second epic created, right? This time I'm done. I don't want to do too many epic because otherwise it will take too much time. So I'm going to uncheck this. I'm going to uncheck this and I'm going to say click create. So when I click on create, this will be my second epic. In a real life, I'll create all epics in a real life. Normally, epics are created by product owner. Normally, epics are created by product owner. So you can see here, I have two epics. If I see here, you can see here, product management is one epic. And you can see there is a color here. Do you guys see here color? There's a tiny color on the arrow. If I minimize this, using this, I can see another color. So your epic 1, product management, epic 2, shopping cart, both epics are there. And if I have time, I could have done all the epics. Make sense or no? And out of that 3 epics, I'll do release one. So I could have done multiple release 2, release 3, and I can have linked that. Yes or no? So if I complete this, I have 2 epics. So I'm going to minimize so you can see how nicely it shows. At this moment, I have 2 epics, and both epics are linked with the release. You see here 0. The reason you are 0 because it's not refreshed yet. If you want to refresh it here, you can click on this refresh symbol and see if you are getting both epics associated with the release. So click on it and you will see 2 issues in the release. Refresh it and say ta-da. So now you can see here version will have 2 epics. Do you guys agree or not? Same. Yes or no? So that release has 2 epics. And those epics are here with the color coding. Any questions so far? People on phone, I hope everyone is following. Give me thumbs up if you're at least following. So quiet today. Huh? Snow is in Chicago. I don't know what happened. Everyone is quiet. No one is asking any questions. Wow, good. Okay. Now we are going from version to epic. And from epic, we are going to story. Make sense? So now if I pick here, I get these type of color for all my stories. If I select here, I'll get this color for all my stories. Make sense or not? So right now we're going to do product management. So in order to do so, click on the product management click here. So when you click here, you will see some screen will change like that. So first of it, so let me expand that. Maybe click on this one like this. So if you click on that link, the screen will change basically like this. Makes sense on it, right? So when you do that, it's kind of see all those things here, right? And now I can create my issues here. This is one way people quickly do that. You can do that. Another way, I'll go back here. Go to backlog. Please follow me. Go to backlog. I like to do a lot easier. So I'm kind of liking easier. So if I go to backlog and then click on Epic, click on Epic. And when you click on Epic, I'll show you something interesting way to do. So whichever Epic you want, there is a small link is here. Create issue in Epic. So it by default link these issue with the story by default. If you click on that, if you scroll down and if I expand this one, then there is a link for that. Do you see that? So I like this way because this way any story I create automatically link with this Epic. It's kind of easy. So first we'll do product management and let's click on this link. So let's click on this link. It will open the dialog box and it automatically selects story in dialog box. Check it out. So here it select the Epic. It should have selected the story. Some reason it did not, which is kind of bad. It used to select story. It should select story by default. But anyway, so story should show up by default because it knows you're creating under that Epic. Now, if you scroll down, you can have summary, component, other information, but not too many, right? So in that, what we need to do, we can go here and we're going to click on the dotted line, the dot, and we're going to select show fields. We're going to select show fields. And now here, I want to have, what are the things I need? I need Epic link, so I can link the Epic, right? Story should be linked with the Epic. If I want to do version map, I can do that. I want to assign to anyone or sprint, I can do that if I want. And I want to do link issues. Sorry?
Will we choose the Epic, link with it under linked issues?
You can, any issue you can link.
Because right now, even though you clicked under that, it's
Mhm.
probably not linked to the same Epic, or is it creating already by default under that?
Ideally, it should pick it up, but sometimes it doesn't pick up the linked issue. It's nothing but dependency. So it's not a parent-child, right? Parent-child is there. There is a relationship, but you can also link them. Okay. It's an example like you have one story might have link with multiple Epic. You can do that. So you can have multiple issues associated. Right now, make sure you select this one, select priority, select this version and all, right? So you can see everything looks good to me. I have 3 here and 3 here. Now apply. So when I come here, stories are written very different way. So first thing you write just like in your Excel file. That's why I do Excel work in prior, because it's so easy for me to follow that because it's no-brainer. So mostly people use whiteboard or Excel to do such kind of prior work. So you can understand. So once you understand, go fast. So right now I'm going to do add product, view product, update product like that, just for example purpose. So here I'm going to say add product, add product. Again, I'm trying to do this Epic under product management. So we are trying to do in product management. So we have to link them. It is not linked. So I did a add product. Now, when you come here in descriptions, you need to write very specific format. Remember last week we talked about who, what, and why. Who, what, and why. This is the way you write. So first of all, who need add product? So administrator. So we can say as an admin, I want to add product. So my product shows up in the product list, right? So who is going to use this functionality? Admin. Customer is not going to do that. So as an admin, I would like to add a product. So my product shows up in a product. So like write in a form. So as a, in our case, we can say store admin. I like to add product. So it shows up in the product search. Make sense? Because if I don't add, it won't show up. So add a product, right? Product search. So this is the way you write. This is all business language. So stories always have a who, what, and why. Yes, sir. Who, what, and why. Now, along with the story, you should write here acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means how do I know the work is completed? So it's a common sense. If I'm an admin, I follow the screen where I add a product, there's a business logic will happen. And at the end of the day, product has to be added in the database. Do you guys agree or not? So product should be stored in the database. That's the expectation, right? If I use search product, please understand. If I do search product with the name, then product should show up here. Yes or no? So as an admin, please understand, as an admin, let's say I add TV. I complete that, then TV should be added here. If I try to add same TV again, then system should validate and say, you know what, this is already exists. Do you want to increase the quantity? It does not allow you to duplicate. Yes or no? So we need to write acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria means good and bad. Good in the sense of if everything is successful, what happens? And if it's something wrong, what happens? BA students knows use case. Remember primary scenario, alternate scenario, precondition and post condition. Acceptance criteria is your post condition. So if you know a little bit about use case, you know post condition is when you're successful, you go to this page or you do this. And when you're error, you do this. So let's write it. So here we write acceptance criteria. This is very important for QA student because QA student will read this and then they will create a test case. This is normally written by product owner. So here acceptance criteria, you can say upon successful product details are stored in the repository, in the product repository. In interview, sometimes people ask, do we need to write acceptance criteria in technical term? Answer is no. You can write in a business term because any business member can understand. But if your business members are technical, it's okay to write in technical term. You can write product report in Oracle database. You can write that. But normally you don't write how. You just write what. If I write Oracle, then I'm giving a technology. How? It means I don't allow anyone to use any other software. Makes sense or not? So try not to give a solution, give a requirement. Makes sense? If you say it has to be stored in a cloud, then you're giving solution. Makes sense or not? Your goal is not to provide solution. Try to write in a business language because this can be read by any person who doesn't have a technical background. Now, so this is one acceptance criteria. I'll just do one. And now let's add a second. Second I added is, let's say, if duplicate product is entered, then system should show an error message. Makes sense or not? Because if you enter same thing, then system should. Right? So these are a couple of exception criteria. Again, you can evolve this exception criteria anytime. There will be a question in your exam. If your acceptance criteria change, so your estimation will change, yes or no? If your acceptance criteria change, so your effort estimation will change or not? Yeah. If I go to restaurant and I say, hey, I need a food. The guy say, what you need? Let's say I said, I need a sandwich. And after that, can you give me soup also? So suddenly your acceptance criteria change. So then effort will also change. Ideally, if somebody Can product owner change the acceptance grade? Answer is yes. If they change, again, negotiation should happen. Because if it requires extra effort, something needs to come out, right? Because you cannot just keep adding, right? Something you need to come out because your capacity fixed. So that's why it's very important you understand acceptance criteria. Now, make sure you click on this check here and scroll down. Scroll down. Now, select issue. So here you can see here, it automatically pick. Last time, I don't know why it didn't pick, but it automatically pick your what do you call product, Epic product manager, right? Let's click on it. So if I click on that, it automatically pick. Though you are allowed to pick multiple Epic, because it is possible one story might be needed for multiple Epic. Make sense? So can I link one issue with multiple issue? Answer is yes. Right? Now version, you click on that, you automatically select version. Priority, because when you do first time, always do high priority, because that is something you have to do now, right? Select Epic link. Again, you can associate Epic link if you want, or you can never associate. So Epic link is there. So you can have two things now. You can see a link issue. So I don't want to repeat a couple of things. So I'm going to cancel this thing because there is unnecessary there. So I'm not linking here, but I'm linking an Epic link because I have Epic link, right? Makes sense or not? So right now you can see our release. If I see this thing, I have a release, I have Epic, and I have story. Makes sense, right? This will help you to prepare RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Requirement traceability matrix. Automatically it will create for you, right? So having a linkage is a plus point. Can I do linkage later? Answer is yes. But it's a good idea. Do as much as you can do when you are developing. Any questions so far? Okay. So right now, this worth repeating. We did a story, we did add product, and we defined the as a store who, what, and why, acceptance criteria. Then we'll link with the release. We link with priority. We did a product management. Everything looks good. I have checked this thing. Now I'm going to do clear. Now, based on our estimations, if you notice that we have done add product done. Now we're going to do view product. We're going to go a little fast. I'm not going to go detail about all because you've got the point. So view product. Makes sense or not? I'm not going to write description, but as a view, same concept as a site admin. I want to see the view product so I can validate my data entry. Make sense or not? So as a site admin, I would like to see the product view so I can confirm my data entry. Makes sense? I can write that, but right now I'm not writing. Scroll down, release is there, priority is there. This time I will say medium. And then Epic is already there. So I'm done. I already have check mark. I'm going to do create. So that will be my second story. Now the third story, which we have selected, which is update product. So let's do that. So now we'll do update product. This happens during sprint planning. Who participate this exercise? Both product owner and development team, because they are going to work. They are going to do this thing during sprint planning. So in sprint planning, everyone will be actively working. Now everything looks good here. So there is nothing to do. I'm done with this. So I'm going to uncheck this. So I uncheck it. Ideally, you should create all stories. Ideally, you should create all stories for that epic. Ideally, but because we are limited time, I'm just going to show you three examples. So uncheck that and create. So I'm done with my stories. Ideally, you should create all stories for that epic. Ideally, right? And then you pick the story for the sprint, right? So this is like I created for product management, but I have another epic also, which is another epic shopping cart, right? So if I go to my page here, you can see the colors are matching. Colors are matching exactly same. And you can see here it is release one, and it is also showing that it is part of epic. Makes sense or not? Do you guys agree? Say yes. Yeah. Good. Now scroll down a little bit, and now you can see here second epic. So we're going to click on this one, create issue epic. Click on create issue epic. I'm hoping everyone is following. Remember, the most important thing is to understand how we do. I'm very happy to say that I'm recording the session. So you're always welcome to practice. This recording will be available for a while because I'm putting in YouTube, so that way it will be lifetime available. Otherwise, I have limited storage and I can only store for maybe a couple of months. But here it will be, this is life changing, trust me, because it is required skill and it's so simple. If you don't know, you can't get opportunity. If you know it, you can do awesome job. So let's click on issue epic. So we are here, same concept. This time we are in a what we call shopping cart. So we can say add item to shopping cart. Makes sense of that. Again, you can write here. You can write here status. Here, who will add item in a shopping cart? As a customer. So you can say as a customer, I want to add item into shopping cart so I can purchase. Make sense? Who? Customer. What? I want to add item into shopping cart. Why? So I can purchase. Ideally, I will write that. And then I write their acceptance criteria. You got the point, right? When you work with your team, you should do. I'm not expecting to do all hundreds of stories, trust me. But at least write few stories so you can be comfortable. Because in the interview, people will ask you, tell me a couple of examples. You should be able to instantly. When I ask question and you take 10 seconds, no. In interview, try to answer in less than 5 seconds because it shows you know what you're doing. Makes sense or no? That's why it is important you do this exercise. Go further and select the same concept, fixed version, R1. If you scroll down, shopping cart is by default selected. Everything looks good. So right now, I'm not going to do all. I'm just going to come out and create. Is that okay? So that way you can see different color for this story because this is a different epic. See here, color is different. Do you guys agree? And this color belongs to this epic, and this is a separate epic. So I have 4 stories. How many stories I have? 4 stories from multiple epic. Any questions, sir? So stories are done. We are doing super duper. We are doing amazing job today. So we are now just completed this part. Now we are going to task. Now stories are broken into tasks. So this is called subtask. So story is going to subtask. So we're going to create a subtask. When you create a subtask, the screen will be a little bit up and down, and so it will be a little difficult. But before you go to subtask, you may want to decorate story because there are a few things we did not do. One, story point. We did not do story point, right? So it's a good idea to do story point before you go because this software which you are using, JIRA, can create automatically burn down chart, burn up chart, and velocity chart automatically if you have story point and task defined. Did we write story point yet? No. So we need to do what we need to do. Go back to this view and pick one at a time. So if you pick one at a time, you will see on the right side here some small window shows up. Check it out. Add a product. I click on it and Windows shows up. Say yes, right? And if you scroll up or down, you will see somewhere more fields. You will see more fields. And over there, if you scroll down, you will see more field. And you can see story point. Do you guys see that? You click on that. And whatever you agreed upon, add product. How big the add product was in our case? Add product was 5 point, right? So you just write 5. So that's a 5. Right? Now, if you scroll down, release is done already, priority is done, everything looks good, nothing wrong. Anytime you make a change, everything will be visible. So here, those who are QA students, this is for you or developer. If you do Git, anytime you do Git related thing, it will be automatically visible. So those who are QA students, you might learn later on in the life what is Git and all. Don't worry about if you don't know anything, right? Now moving to click on the second story. Click on the second story. Add item to shopping. I click on it. As you can add here, you can see here point shows up here, right? So here I can scroll down and I can give a point. So I can do story point. Let's say 2 points. I just want to do quickly so everything you can see viewpoint. If I do viewpoint, if I scroll down, and I have story points. So right now I'll say that's a 3 point. Just I'm making up. Okay. Now update point, and this will help me to calculate my velocity. So here I'll say 2 points. So we are done. As you can see here, it's not coming out. Okay. It should show, it should update here, but it did not update. So I'm going to refresh it, because ideally I'm supposed to see here number, right? Some reason it did not update. I'm going to refresh just to make sure it auto save. So I refresh it. Anytime you're lost, you always click on backlog. Anytime you're lost, this is the way you go forward. But you can see now numbers are showing up. Say yes or no, right? So stories are done. Now we are going for task.
So let's say we committed for 8 points in a sprint, right? And we're not able to do some of them. We only did 6. So the rest 2 are added to
Product
next, back to product backlog.
Product backlog. Everything will go. Any
A question, please.
Yes.
How did you add the story points?
I thought I showed you. No, I was doing that, right? I just click here and I was scrolling down, right? No, I'll show you again. I did 4 times, right? Scroll down, is there? And here is the point. You just type it. Right? For every story I did, once I did that, I refresh it. So when I refresh it, it shows up that number. Right? I did 4 times, right? Any other questions?
Sorry, for some reason, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, you don't see what you don't see here. You are not
The
able to
story
see
points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Refresh it.
Okay.
After
Yeah, I
you,
see it now. Thank you.
yeah, no problem. After you update, some reason it doesn't refresh it. Okay, now next topic. We'll pick up this story and we'll break it down into tasks. Okay. For time being, I'm going to show you simple tasks so you can understand how process works. I would strongly suggest you start working on your team and work on this exercise. It will give you so much understanding. So now let's say, see here, as soon as I click on the story, the window will change here. Check it out. Okay. So I'll say add product, and the windows, I'm already in add product building. Okay. Now you can see here add product ID, and I went all the way up. I see this symbol. This allows me to create a task. This allows me to create a task. So let's click on it. And when you click on it, it will create a task. Good news. I already have created a task here. Do you agree? So I can just
Task and task is the same thing.
say. So you can see here, create a web page, right? I have created all those things. So I already have it. So I'm just gonna start typing. So check it out. So here, create a web page. Makes sense, huh? And then press enter. So you can get another task. You can say create a service program. It doesn't need to be complex because it gives you kind of things like a kind of notes. In a real life, we use sticky notes. But nowadays, because you are using software, this is going to become a sticky note. In sticky note, you don't write a paragraph, you write a few words. So create a service program. So in an interview and in an exam, they call 3C. 3C. So when you write this thing, it creates a sticky note like this. And it's called 3C concept. First means C means card. C means card. Card means small, tiny sticky note. Another C means conversation, because you have no knowledge about, so you may ask question. So conversation will happen between you and product owner. And third is commitment. Once you understand, you commit. So first C means card. Second C means conversation. If you don't know, you talk. And the third thing is a commitment. So you just write enough so you can get started. Press enter. As you can add any task, any number of tasks. We can say create a database table, create a test case. Again, I'm not going to create all, but you got the point here. Am I right? You can create all tasks according to your story. All the tasks. Make sense or not? Again, I'm not going to do it because I want to make sure we save time for other activity. So this is the task. Now, as you can see here, each task I have, so I create a task here. but I do not have hours and I do not have person who's going to work. So now I'm going to I'm going to click on this one. Look at that, the JIRA problem. Epic, stories, subtask, and now detail. I'm going to do detail. So it's kind of going like detail like this, right? So sometimes it will kind of challenging. If that happens challenging, you may want to click on one of this one. So you can come back. So like example, right now you can see here, right now, this one means this one, which is epic. This one is nothing but story. So anytime you're lost, you can come back clicking that. Makes sense or not? So right now I'm going to click on the first one. Check it out. My screen will be weird, okay? Because I have a tiny screen. So if I click on it, it's going to give me another window. And you can see now I'm going down, right? In that, if you scroll down, there should be an option called hours somewhere. So more fields. So click on more fields. So if you click on more fields, you will see here original estimation. So original estimation, the way it works is if you do that, by default estimation is called D is for day. So if you write 16H, H means hours. If you say 16H, H means hours. If you say 16D, D means day. So it will automatically adjust, but right now use unit appropriately. So I'm going to write here original estimation is 16. Oops. As I said before, it sometimes create a little challenge. Let me go back again. What happened? Let me refresh. Oops. Sometimes, screen. This is like a little bit challenging JIRA because it does so many things in a tiny screen. So I hope it will show up. Yeah. So add product. Where is my task? Here you go. So I'm going to click on this one, MW7. Yeah. So if I click on that, and if I scroll down, there's a concept called scroll down original estimate. So you click on that and remove that and say, let's say 16H. So it will try to convert as a D. Look at that, 2D. It automatically convert to 2D. Now, this is your original estimation. So in real life, when you work on that, you will log your hours. So like example, one day you work, you can say 4 hours. So you log it. Then you work 6 hours, you log it. So when you log it, it will create a burn down chart nicely for you. But 16 hours you write in a sprint planning. But next day when you come and say how many hours you work on this task, you write it. So that way you can understand what was the plan and what is the actual. So this gives you kind of comparison, plan versus actual. Now, one thing.
Sir, I think I missed something. Why did you put 2 days?
I did not put 2 days. I did 16 hours.
Oh, you wrote
but it automatically convert to
Okay.
days. Now, if you scroll up, there should be a way called assign, right? So downside, I added hours, assign. Remember, we have 3 members, Annie, Kevin, and all. So if you click on it, they will show up in your drop-down box. Do you agree? So you can assign whomever you don't like it. You can assign them. So like now I'm assigning, let's say, Mary. So Mary is assigned. So Mary is going to get the task. So right now Mary will get email. She will get email that she has a work to do. Make sense? Now, if I'm completely done, then I'll go back to my number 3. So what is my number 3? This is my story, right? So I'm going to click on M3. So I can see other tasks. And you can see now this time, Mary symbols are showing up. Now let's try the same thing here. So if I click on it, I can assign this thing because I know what I'm doing now. I assign to Amy. And if I scroll down, I can assign that this is, let's say, 8 hours activity. If I do 8 hours, it will convert to 1 day. Okay. Now I keep doing that till I complete because I have all hours information, right? When you complete, your sprint planning completes. So now you're about to go home. Your story, task, enter. So when you're about to go home, you have 2 things to take. and that is called create a sprint and activate the sprint. Speak with me. Create a sprint and activate. We have so far what we have done is sprint planning. Now we are about to go home, so we have to create a sprint and activate. When we do it, that sprint starts. So we are on still based on our definitions. If you see the graph, we are here. We are about to go home, and when we are about to go home, we need to have this thing ready. And this thing is called sprint backlog. We have not yet created sprint backlog. We have so far created product backlog. We have selected stories. We have selected story. We have done a task, but we have not yet created a sprint backlog. We are about to do. In order to create a sprint backlog, first I need to create a sprint. Once I create a sprint, I create sprint backlog, and I have to activate. When I activate, then sprint start. Okay, so let's do that. It will take hardly 2 minutes.
So it's not until the daily defect meeting that the developers, daily stand-up, daily stand-up meeting, that the development team assigns themselves what they will do, right? So how do we know ahead of time who is going to work on which sub-task?
Yeah, because they're sitting in the room, right?
But you said that it's every day that they find out, right?
Yeah, so why? They when you start something, you at least basic you know, right? Remember we started with the journey, that first person we started with the mathematics here, right? We said we have 2 people. Now, sounds familiar? We have 2 people, they're working here. We get a capacity of 64 or 124. You are participating.
We don't know how many people, but exactly like you said, Mary.
Correct. But this person, remember we had come up with estimate 10 hours. So when you come up 10 hours, during that time, someone gave that 10 hours because that person has a knowledge, right? So who that person may be, right? If we don't know, we can just randomly select the person who is available. And if that person says, I'm not the right person, he can reassign to someone else. But we have to use 3 people, right? We have only 3 people. We don't have 4 people. Now, if person A is working on another task, person B can work other task also. Ideally, they all should work independent tasks in one story. So in one story, multiple tasks. But in one task, 1 person can work or 2 person can work also, right? I would start assigning tasks at least for one story. So next day, they should not ask, what am I going to do? They should not be even asking because they have clear agenda. When they come Tuesday, they start working. At least you should plan for one story. Make sense or no? I'm not planning all because I know it will change. But at least you should plan because if they come tomorrow morning, maybe early, they should not wait for you. Make sense or no? At this moment, everyone should see create sprint button. Say yes, click on it. Click on create sprint. So when you click on create sprint, you get a dotted line somewhere. Did you see the dotted line? Say yes. This dotted line, you just need to drag and drop the story the product owner says. So I'm going to close this thing because my dotted line will be a little bit bigger. Yes. So you can see here, this is your sprint. Now product owner say, I want this story. Then you just drag it, drag it, drag it, drag it, drop it. So add product. So you know, add product, I can do it. Then you go for the view product. So you can select the view product, drag it, drag it, drag it, drop it. And then you can say update product and you're done. It means this is the 3 story you can work on because that's your total capacity. We discuss about it, right? So now product owner say, yeah, everything looks good. Everyone say, looks good. Lock it. Yes. And then you're about to go home. You're going to click on start sprint. Remember that you do before you go home. So start sprint. As soon as you do start sprint, it will ask you what's your goal. So remember we talk about, it will ask you goal. When you are here, we talk about that when you come out, there are 2 things comes out. One is sprint backlog and second thing sprint goal. So right now we are here. So it's 2 week sprint. We by default we have, if you want to select, you can do whichever you want, but we are going to select 2 weeks. So we're going to write a goal. Product management is completed by 50% and add, view and update functions are working. So this is the goal, means entire team should agree on this goal. If this goal does not work later on, product owner can cancel the sprint. Remember we said product owner can cancel the sprint if the goal is not achievable or attainable or it's not relevant. Product owner can cancel. Now, as soon as I click on start, people will run away because they must be tired. Trust me. Amazon, sorry, in Agile, sprint planning is pretty busy meeting. Many times I don't take even a lunch, not even take a small coffee break. We really work hard, exhausted. So if you are not used to with those type of like a pace, you become comfortable. If you are comfortable, I'll do work on weekend. It's not gonna work. Now, everything is now, and speed will be pretty high expected. I'm not scaring you. I'm just telling you. Okay. Now click on start. So when you click on start, that is a sprint backlog, which you see right now is your sprint backlog, where you know what to do, and nothing is in progress. Yes or no? And nothing is completed. This concept is also called Kanban. So this has a many names. This is also called Kanban. What is Kanban? Means flow system. We'll talk about that in coming class. Kanban means flow system, or some people call sprint backlog, or some people call is information radiator. So if somebody said what you are going to work, so this is what you're going to work. If you assign the person, the Mary comes morning, Mary knows that what to do. Yes or no? So Mary is going to do, let's fast forward. Before daily stand-up, it is possible team member will come. So they started working in a sprint. This concept is called sprinting, means they started working. So Mary come to the office. Mary will drag her part and drop here. So she started working. So she drag and drop. Now let's say other person comes and he started working. And the third person say, I will be working with you. I want to learn what you're doing. So he doesn't pick up the more thing. Because the goal of the exercise is take less and deliver faster. Remember the principle? Doing less is the maximum art, right? So they may work together. It's a pair programming. Pair programming means two people are going to work together. They can do pair programming. So one is experienced and one is learner. They can cross each other. They learn from each other. It's okay to do so. Now, this lady, Mary, is almost about to go home. Tuesday is done. So she will click on that. So when she click on Windows shows up, and she said, I worked almost. I work almost. So you can see a workload. You click on workload, so you can see workload. So you're gonna click on workload. So I work almost 6 hours for today. So she will say, I work 6 hours for this activity. I'm going home. So she log 6 hours. The system will automatically calculate that initially you have 2 days, but now only 1 day and 2 hours left. She is going home. She is gone. And every time she can write a comment here, say completed wireframe. Just an example. So she write a comment and she went home and she closed it. Now the guy, Mr. Amy, she click on here. She will write a workload. She comes on it. She log and she said, I work for almost 8 hours. And then save it. So she is done. She can write comment and done. So now we're done. At this moment, next day comes. During this time, daily stand-up, they will say, hey, daily stand-up, yesterday I worked on create web page. I have done a wireframe. Today, my plan is to complete the web page. I do not have a road plan. Next person, Amy. Yesterday, I worked on a service program. I'm almost done. I do not have a road plan. And I'm planning to work on this story. They start working. Now, Mary completed the work. So she again click on the workload and she said workload, and in a workload, if you see here somewhere, option is here, original estimate here. Yeah. So I click on that. My thing didn't show. I'll edit here. Yeah. And now I work on, let's say, 10 hours. So I added 10 hours. and I'll say 10H and I'll save it. And now close it. See, keep doing that. And once this is done, she's going to put it done. So it will be check mark. Same thing for Amy. When C completes, C will be done. Now when C completes, sorry?
I had a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So the log, it's meant to be a daily log or an hourly log?
Daily log. Before you go home. Before you go home. So you keep adding and this person complete the work. Why it's not going? Let me do this way. Yeah. Now, when they complete the work, if the middle of the day they complete, they can still move it and take the new work. Now they take new work. And then start logging. They start logging. Next day they will say, I worked on this. I will be working on this. Continues. And then done. Almost all item is done. Then they'll say, this is done. Then your story is done. Now, when you are done with that, if everything is done, now you move to this item which we selected. We have selected 3 stories. Sorry, my mistake. This is add product is done. That's a story 1 is complete. For that story 1, all tasks are complete. Now, once you are done, you move to the next story. Makes sense or no? You go to task and then you finish it. When you complete all, then you will have a sprint demo. Anytime you are complete, you will show to the product owner. Every story you complete, you show the product owner, get the feedback. And then you move to the next one. Then you move to the next one like that, right? So the screen is tiny. So okay. So now everything is done. So as you complete, because I'm not moving in a time, yes or no? I'm in the same day, but in a real life, you will be moving from day to day. So you actually will be completed on last day. If you complete last day, then sprint will be complete. If you have completed all work, let's say earlier than sprint days, then you will ask product owner, what additional work I should work, and then you start working on the next story, which product owner gives you. You make use of that. Your sprint is fixed. If you have selected 2 weeks, then it's fixed. On the last day, you will have a sprint demo and your retrospective. So let's say you completely doing that. Now all are done. In this situation, you can see here, I do not have sprint completed because I have 9 days left in a real life, but I'm officially making complete sprint. So if I complete sprint, I click on it. It's going to cry a little bit, but I'll still accept it. Makes sense or not? So I click on complete sprint. So I click on complete sprint and I click complete. So that is done. It means sprint is complete. Now it will create idea. It will create a chart. You see that? Burn down chart automatically created. And you can see my velocity story point, which I selected, is there. Makes sense or not? So I selected this many points. So my story point is that if I continuously do that, I will have nice velocity chart sprint by sprint. So you can see the velocity chart sprint by sprint. Question, concerns, doubt.
Tushar,
Yes.
QA testing will be on every sprint, every stage, or
every story. Please understand, sprint is different. Sprint is nothing but 8 days for 2 weeks. Story is different. And in story, you have task, and QA is a story. QA is a task for the story. In case if you have seen that, this is where we create a test case, right? That is a part of the story. Create a test case. That is a part of the story. So it's not a sprint, it's a story. Each story must have test case because you have to do quality job. Without quality job, you are not moving forward. Yes.
So that burn down chart can only be generated after the sprint is
completed.
completed.
Every day it is generating. It is actually a progressive journey. But because everything I did in one day, you see that? Everything in one day. In a real life, it will be like this. It will be like this. Every day you can see like that. So this way you can project. Are we going to be ahead or late? You can project. Any other questions? This one you do lifetime. Ask yourself question. Do you think it's hard? See, you drive car. Driving rules are more harder than this, right? Ask me. I have to read the.
So you said we're going to do this again, right?
Sorry, could you repeat again?
You said we are going to, try to do it again in the next class, right?
I will not do again. I'll do new things. I will do new things because I have so many things to cover. This thing I will not means I'll repeat, but not this slowly. I would request you to watch recording, maybe 2, maybe 3 times, and do one more time exercise. Because next week I need to cover some other thing also, because I have not covered about other part like about JQL and all. We ran out of time because I don't want to cover too much. But I will be like an agile guy, iterative and incremental, like that. So if I were a student, I would make sure I practice for my own career, right? Do not depend on me. Make sure you practice. I did my part superly well. I recorded. If you show to this video to your friends and family members, they will say, man, this is amazing. I will tell you. Why? I'm telling you because I know how people work in industry, how people teach in industry. But if you don't do homework, it's too bad. Too bad. After doing this thing, you just watch the movie and you didn't practice. Even if you do practice for 1 hour, I give you guarantee you will understand this thing. Watch recording and practice. Watch recording and practice. JIRA account is free for 2 weeks. If you don't use, your account will disappear, right? So practice it. And you are doing project. So let me remind project. People who, I'll make it easy for you. The people who are really serious about job, I would use 3 words: job, career, and improvement, right? Last, we have created a group. So group is here. Project groups are here. Let me bring the project group up so that way we can talk in a language where other people can understand also. If you do not have a group member, it is possible. You can join the group number 4, which is the new member. Anyone who joined new, they can still join to the new members here. So if suddenly someone say, I just joined yesterday, you will be part of the group 4. But if you are in a group 3, and if you have not set up a meeting, you didn't talk, you didn't share your email address, you didn't participate in WhatsApp, I have a good news for you. You cannot learn. You just cannot learn, no matter how good I do. But if you participate, you see, we have WhatsApp group. I added a WhatsApp group. We have homework. I give you homework. I give you recording. I work so much, but you have to work. You have to take steps. There are 6-7 people in group. If none of people work, then you cannot do anything, right? If one person say, Archana say, I want to do my part. If she does, awesome. And she should ask other people to participate. Same thing, Nima and others can participate, right? If you don't communicate, don't participate, you will not learn, right? And then project details, let me save it. Project detail is a very well documented, which we discussed about last class, if you remember. Project details are documented in here. So let me just bring here. This is, see, we have WhatsApp group here, right? This WhatsApp group through, you can easily talk to other people also. And then you can participate. Hey, my group is here. Can you participate? If they don't know and participate, you do yourself work. But at the end of the day, you should learn, right? So that group is there. And this is the project detail, which we have put in a nicer form, very nicer form. So I want to make sure you and your group can work on that. These details are here. As long as you work, you will learn of that. So here, Agile group, I'll put it here. Your WhatsApp group here, so you can participate in that group also. You and your group has to meet often. If you meet often, then you will learn a lot. All the details are well documented in your forum. So you can access the forum, you can go through that. At this moment, we are, I would say, 70% done with the JIRA. There are 30% things are there which I'll cover next week. Project is not due next week, but ideally you should have project 60-70% done by next week, because week after you will be presenting the project, week after. So next week I'll answer some of the questions. Many of you are very serious and you are working on a certifications. Ideally, you should be working hard for the certifications, and that's why I gave you exam preparation material also. Many of you reach out to me also and say, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Feel free to do that. More you do is better. All the informations are in Google Class. So I would put 100% effort. You just go to classwork and start reading about it. But don't slow down, because this is when things are fresh, you will be able to know more. You will be able to answer very well in your exam. Yes.